Danielle Staub is facing marital problems just 2 months after she tied the knot with husband Marty Caffrey. Following reports that the pair had split, a rep for the 55-year-old Real Housewives of New Jersey star tells People that while they are having some difficulties, Staub is hoping for a happy resolution. Danielle is having some difficulties with her marriage right now and is hoping everything will work out, Staub's rep says. Staub and Caffrey said "I do" in May during a Sunset Bohemian Beach ceremony held on the Bahamas' North Bimini Island at the Luna Beach Club. The reality star's Ranch co-stars Teresa Giudice, Melissa Gorga and Margaret Josephs all served as bridesmaids for the event, and a source told People at the time that the occasion was filmed for the hit Bravo show's upcoming 9th season. Related, Danielle Staub marries fiancé Marty Caffrey in Bohemian Bimini Beach wedding. Staub and Caffrey began dating in April 2016 and lived together in her New Jersey home. He proposed to her on a Season 8 episode, news of which People first reported in May, surprising Staub on the grounds of a beautiful mansion, where a violinist played Pachelbel's canon in D and a handful of couples danced around them. "Baby, when I first met you, I was struck with how beautiful you are. As I got to know you, I fell in love with you," he told her before popping out a ring, a round-cut diamond with 4 prongs and an eternity band, and proposing. "I'll do everything I can to love you, to protect you, and to keep you safe." The engagement was simply beautiful, Staub gushed later. "He is such a gentleman." Ahead of the pair's marriage, Staub, who returned to Revenge last season in the Friend of the Housewives role after a 6-season hiatus from the show, told People, "I'm excited to connect with Marty as husband and wife. There's nothing more beautiful about that," she added. "We're both looking forward to that next chapter." This is the 3rd marriage for Staub. She and her last husband, businessman Thomas N. Staub, split after 14 years together before Ranch began filming. They share daughters Christine, 24, and Jillian, 20. Danny Welbeck is thought to be single and is not believed to have a significant other supporting him at the World Cup 2018, where he is gearing up for the England game against Sweden today. The 27-year-old has not been pictured with a girlfriend or partner in recent years, after first joining Arsenal in 2014. The forward has never spoken openly about his love life and instead keeps his private life private. But Danny regularly updates his fans via his Instagram page on football, as well as sharing snaps highlighting his keen sense of style. He shared numerous photos from Jack Wilshere's wedding day last year, however he did not appear to have a date with him. Looking at something out of shot, Danny cut a dapper figure in a purple blazer and matching shirt. He added a pale pair of trousers and brown loafers, while a pair of sunglasses were tucked into his top. "That day in Tuscany. Congrats again to Mr. and Mrs. Wilshere," the star captioned it, while tagging his teammate. Just hours after, he flaunted his six-pack as he stripped down to a patterned red shirt, which was left open, and a coordinated pair of shorts. "Wilshere's wedding pool party antics," he wrote alongside, after also sporting a straw hat and mirrored sunglasses. It is thought that Danny was also present when Jack, 26, who recently left Arsenal, popped the question to now-wife Andriani Michael in 2016. According to The Sun, he got down on one knee at her surprise 25th birthday party 2 years ago last May. 200 including Danny and Aaron Ramsey were said to have been at the venue, which was adorned with balloons complete with her nickname Drew. He told her they were going for dinner but had hired the restaurant and invited 200, a friend told the newspaper. "Yes lads," he simply wrote to his 753,000 followers yesterday, after England triumphed over Colombia. As well as a jubilant image of the team celebrating, Danny also added 3 lion emojis and one of a black flag. He was soon inundated with comments, with one user writing, "I really want to see you get some game time during the World Cup. I am a big fan of you, you have a good record for the country too. Wishing you the best." Well, last Sunday the Brexit secretary resigned from the cabinet, citing concerns at Mrs May's approach to EU negotiations, with the Foreign Secretary also relinquishing his title just 15 hours later. Friends of Mr Johnson have claimed the ex-Brexit secretary phoned to inform him of his decision to stand down and argued the Uxbridge MP should also quit the government. However, allies of Mr Davis have reacted furiously to the allegations and have said the plot to undermine Mrs May was in fact started by Mr Johnson. The extraordinary exchange between the pair is outlined in the Mail, with both camps accusing the other of lying about how events played out in the aftermath of the Chequers Agreement. Ministers agreed at the Prime Minister's official country residence to commitment to a single standards model for goods, preventing Britain from adopting any competing national standards, a legal agreement to ongoing harmonization with the EU, including agri-foods, a common rulebook with the EU for all goods, and a pledge that British courts will follow European Court of Justice rulings where relevant. The negotiating stance was widely condemned by Brexiteers as being unacceptable, and 5 government ministers resigned in consequence. Mr Davis's friends have described the accusations he attempted to organize a joint resignation with Mr Johnson as nonsense. Meanwhile, sources close to Mr Johnson have said the former Foreign Secretary declined to agree to a coordinated attack on the Prime Minister's plan as suggested by Mr Davis, because he needed to discuss logistics with his family and aides. When Mr Johnson's resignation was announced last Monday, Mr Davis said he regretted his party colleague had come to the conclusion to quit. The news dramatically broke part-way through a live radio interview with the formed Brexit secretary. Giving his views on Mr Johnson's decision to leave the government, Mr Davis told LBC, "I had to resign because this was central to my job, and if we continue with this policy and I was still there, I'd have to present it to Parliament and the House of Commons. I'd have to present it in Europe. I'd have to be the champion of the policy that I didn't believe in. That doesn't work. Somebody else could do a better job than me." The Brexit secretary's resignation letter to the Prime Minister makes it clear how difficult the decision was. And he warns that, "I am afraid that I think the current trend of policy and tactics is making that look less and less likely." He also makes clear his irritation at the interference from civil servants surrounding Theresa May, which led to repeated delays and changes in Brexit policy. "The general direction of policy will leave us in at best a weak negotiating position, and possibly an inescapable one," he wrote. Here is his letter in full. "Dear Prime Minister, as you know, there have been a significant number of occasions in the last year or so on which I have disagreed with the Number 10 policy line, ranging from accepting the Commission's sequencing of negotiations through to the language on Northern Ireland and the December joint report. At each stage I have accepted collective responsibility, because it is part of my task to find workable compromises, and because I considered it was still possible to deliver on the mandate of the referendum, and on our manifesto commitment to leave the customs union and the single market. I am afraid that I think the current trend of policy and tactics is making that look less and less likely. Whether it is the progressive dilution of what I thought was a firm checkers agreement in February on right to diverge, or the unnecessary delays of the start of the white paper, or the presentation of a backstop proposal that omitted the strict conditions that I requested and believed that we had agreed, the general direction of policy will leave us in at best a weak negotiating position, and possibly an inescapable one. The cabinet decision on Friday crystallized this problem. In my view, the inevitable consequence of the proposed policies will be to make the supposed control by Parliament illusory rather than real. As I said at Cabinet, the Common Rule Book policy hands control of large swaths of our economy to the EU and is certainly not returning control of our laws in any real sense. I am also unpersuaded that our negotiating approach will not just lead to further demands for concessions. Of course, this is a complex area of judgment, and it is possible that you are right and I am wrong. However, even in that event, it seems to me that the national interest requires a Secretary of State in my department that is an enthusiastic believer in your approach, and not merely a reluctant conscript. While I have been grateful to you for the opportunity to serve, it is with great regret that I tender my resignation from the cabinet with immediate effect. Becoming a parent changed David Spade's life and his own family dynamics. In his newly released audiobook, A Polaroid Guy in a Snapchat World, the actor and comedian opens up about how his relationship with his father Wayne, who goes by the nickname Sam, changed after he welcomed his own child, daughter Harper, with former Playboy playmate Jillian Grace in 2008. This one's going to be a little tricky. This is a chapter about my dad, and the way that it fits into this audiobook is I'm a dad now, he says. And the difference and why it caused some complications with my own dad is because he was sort of a ne'er-do-well, which is putting it mildly. I think F-up is more on the nose. Spade, 54, describes his father as cool and funny, but also a bit of a skirt chaser, times 1,000 million, and a bit of boozy Susie. When he was 4 and his brothers Brian and Andy Spade were 8 and 6, respectively, Spade says his father suddenly vanished from their family home in Michigan. Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter. Related video. David Spade breaks his silence after sister-in-law Kate Spade's death. I still can't believe it. Growing up, Spade says he saw his father about 2 or 3 times a year. We'd be sitting at the doors with our bags, because he would call us and say he wanted to see us, says the actor. What I didn't realize back then was that it was a control thing. We never had his phone number. He would call us when he felt like it. Nevertheless, the actor says the duo maintained a relationship and even moved in together in Arizona at one point. But years later, when Spade became a father himself, everything changed. I have a daughter now, and she came out of a situation with a girl I was dating and it was not planned, Spade says. And I get angry, because my brothers and I were planned. Now, I'm so happy that I have a daughter and she's the best thing in my life, but I couldn't picture my daughter being sick and calling me and me not answering. Related, David Spade opens up about daughter Harper or just calling her without any way for her to call me. He explains. That would be too much. It would be too rough. So when I had her, I got this new tidal wave of resentment towards my dad because of his irresponsible behavior and manipulative mean streak. So I stopped talking to him. I know it sounds crazy, but I just thought, holy yes. You really played your cards the way you did when we were kids. Spade continues. I mean, I like to have fun too, but it can't be 24/7 and literally nothing else. The only thing my dad really did was give me an excuse to be nuts. I can always cry and go, it's my dad's fault. He left me when I was 4. Now I'm crazy. Though he has not divulged any recent details of his co-parenting relationship with Grace, Spade posts photos and videos of Harper on Instagram and sometimes shares sweet anecdotes about her while appearing on talk shows. In 2015, he joked about navigating the ropes of parenthood while appearing on The Ellen DeGeneres Show. I'm new at this, how long till I can school her in tic-tac-toe? He said. Because I am really good at it, but I'm faking it so she can win. But now I'm getting Former Strictly Come Dancing judge Arlene Phillips has blasted the BBC for paying Shirley Ballas more than Craig Revel would. Shirley, 57, far right, banked a £70,000 pay raise this year in the midst of the BBC's gender pay gap row, which saw her match former head judge Len Goodman, whom she replaced. Arlene, 75, right, insisted that Craig was more deserving of the salary increase because of his long stint as a judge on the show. Craig has been on the show for about 15 years. It is important that women to get the same pay. But for experience, Craig deserves every penny. She then explained to TV's Lorraine, if you're on a show in the West End and you decide to stay on, you get an increase every year. Then when you go back to square one, because you want to do a new show, you go back to everybody's starting salary. However, Arlene's comparing the TV show to the theater confused many viewers. One tweeted, "Shut up, Arlene. This isn't the West End, it's B***YTV." Another wrote, "What does how the West End paid their performers have to do with the BBC? Poor dear's gone loopy." While another brutally wrote, "Arlene's just jealous. She has never got over being sacked from Strictly." Earlier this week, Craig, 53, who sits alongside fellow judges Bruno Tonioli and Darcy Bussell, made clear his feelings about Shirley's pay. "I think women should be paid the same as men, but what would you say to a woman coming in after you've been in the job for 15 years when they've done absolutely nothing to earn it? You'd expect she would start on something lower because she's never been on TV before. It has been 2 decades since Men Behaving Badly ended, but the much-loved sitcom could be set for a comeback." Neil Morrissey, 55, left, says he and former co-stars Martin Clunes, Caroline Quentin and Leslie Ash, are all keen to reprise their roles. "Martin, Caroline, Leslie and I have all said we will do it," he said, before swiftly adding, "It all hinges on a good script. We need to get creator Simon Nye, nail him down and get him to write a series. Get him on, because he's writing The Darrells at the moment." After a lackluster response to the first series starring Harry Enfield, the comedian was replaced by Neil, and the show went on to enjoy a loyal cult following during its 6th-series run in the 1990s. Following a one-off revival as part of charity special Stand Up to Cancer in 2014, fans have been clamoring for the program to make a proper comeback. Watch this space. Former X Factor host Caroline Flack has hinted that she felt powerful having a fling with much younger pop star Harry Styles. Alluding to her dalliance with the then 17-year-old Styles in 2011, Caroline, now 38, referenced the younger men she has been with. "Dear men of my 30s," she wrote in an open letter. "I dated friends and I dated younger men and I dated men who were hopelessly inappropriate and it was all fun. Dating as a 30-something woman felt more powerful than dating in my 20s, and all you guys made me see that. By your 30s, you've survived heartbreak, you've survived long, messy relationships, you've survived unrequited love and maddening love that leaves you tired and confused. Those are important things to have survived. Endings are different in your 30s too." Caroline, now engaged to The Apprentice star Andrew Brady, also addressed her relationship with her best mate, her X Factor co-presenter Ollie Murs, admitting that although she thought they were perfect for each other, feelings of love can't be forced. It appears that Lord Sugar is standing by the posting of his recent racist tweet. The host of The Apprentice is still insisting that he was only joking when he posted a photoshopped picture of Senegal's World Cup team looking as though they were selling counterfeit goods, and captioned it, "I recognize some of these guys from the beach in Marbella. Multitasking resourceful chaps." Although he initially defended the image and condemned naysayers as not getting the joke, he eventually apologized. Fast forward to a week later and he appears to have backtracked. His clumsy remarks led to an onslaught of criticism on Twitter. "This is absurd. If Henry Cavill doesn't want to be called a rapist, then all he has to do is not rape anyone," read one post which was liked by more than 16,000 users. Another said, "So here's the men are also victims of #Me Too, because now we can't flirt narrative. Poor Henry." Responding to the furious backlash, he released a statement clarifying his views. "Having seen the reaction to an article, in particular about my feelings on dating and the #Me Too movement, I just wanted to apologize for any confusion and misunderstanding that this may have created," he said. In the GQ Australia feature, Jersey-born Henry acknowledged stuff has to change, but admitted he was an old-fashioned type. He said, "I think a woman should be wooed and chased. It's very difficult to do that if there are certain rules in place. Because then it's like, well, I don't want to go up and talk to her because I'm going to be called a rapist or something." Group of underscores. The original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory cast looks set to join forces after almost 50 years. One of their number, Denise Nickerson, 61, who played gum-chewing Violet Beauregard in the classic 1971 film, is in a critical condition following a stroke last month and is in need of their support. To pay hospital fees, her family set up a Facebook page and are auctioning off signed memorabilia, raising nearly £2,000 so far. Now Julie Dawn Cole, 60, who played Veruca Salt in the film, has backed the campaign. Fans are hoping other cast members, Peter Ostrom, who played Charlie Bucket, Paris Thman, Mike Teavee, and Michael Bollner, Augustus Gloop, will jump on board. Denise's character Violet was the third of the 5 children to find one of Willy Wonka's golden tickets. Starring as the madcap confectioner in the screen adaptation of Roald Dahl's book was Gene Wilder, who, after battling Alzheimer's, less than if GT so 9 greater than less than, and if greater than less than, if GT so 9 greater than normal 0 false and gigabytes x none less than, and if greater than less than, if GT so 9 greater than less than, and if greater than less than, if GT so 10 greater than * style definitions * table msnor multiple mso style name table normal msod style row band size 0 msod style call band size 0 mso style no show yes mso style priority 99 mso style parent mso padding alt 0 centimeters 5.4 pints 0 centimeters 5.4 pints mso para margin 0 centimeters mso para margin bottom 0001 pint mso pagination widow orphan font size 12.0 pints font family Cambria mso ASCII font family Cambria mso ASCII theme font minor Latin mso Hansi font family Cambria mso Hansi theme font minor Latin less than and if greater than less than start fragment greater than. However, Lisa now admits she felt pressured to go down that route. IVF didn't work for me, but I don't want plan B, C, D or E. I can't go around wishing I was a mom, because that's not going to be me. I was put in a situation where I did feel bullied. It was like, oh, you've got an amazing body, don't you want a baby? And actually, I don't want a child. She tells Woman magazine. Before Lisa, who had a stone of excess skin removed following her drastic weight loss, adds that she is now more than happy with her lot. Less than and fragment greater than. I couldn't feel more complete if I tried. I'm the cliché of a naughty auntie, and I have my nephews, who I have sleepovers with when I go back to Manchester. That brings music to my ears. And it seems her newfound happiness extends to her appearance too. I feel like I've got the correct figure. I'm a woman, I've got curves in the right places, and I'm who I want to be. The feeling I get now when I go shopping for clothes and underwear is one money can't buy. Less than if GT so 9 greater than less than, and if greater than less than, if GT so 9 greater than normal 0 false and gigabytes x none less than, and if greater than less than, if GT so 9 greater than less than, and if greater than less than, if GT so 10 greater than / style definitions * table msnor multiple mso style name table normal msod style row band size 0 msod style call band size 0 mso style no show yes mso style priority 99 mso style parent mso padding alt 0 centimeters 5.4 pints 0 centimeters 5.4 pints mso para margin 0 centimeters mso para margin bottom 0001 pint mso pagination widow orphan font size 12.0 pints font family Cambria. Msoaski font family, Cambria. Msoaski theme font, Minor Latin. Msohansi font family, Cambria. Msohansi theme font, Minor Latin. Less than. And if greater than less than. Start fragment greater than group of underscores. New look takes years off Carol less than. In fragment greater than less than. If GT so 9 greater than less than. And if greater than less than. If GT so 9 greater than normal 0 false n gigabytes x none less than. And if greater than less than. If GT so 9 greater than less than. And if greater than less than. If GT so 10 greater than / style definitions / table. Msnormalterable mso style name, table normal. Msod style row band size, 0. Msod style call band size, 0. Mso style no show, yes. Mso style priority, 99. Mso style parent. Mso padding alt, 0 centimeters 5.4 pints 0 centimeters 5.4 pints. Mso para margin, 0 centimeters. Mso para margin bottom, 0.001 pint. Mso pagination, widow orphan. Font size, 12.0 pints. Font family, Cambria. Msoaski font family, Cambria. Msoaski theme font, Minor Latin. Msohansi font family, Cambria. Msohansi theme font, Minor Latin. Less than. And if greater than less than. Start fragment greater than loose woman Carol McGiffin reckons far more celebrities over 50 have had facelifts than admit to it. The 58-year-old, who proudly unveiled her own on the ITV talk show last week, says, "What's the point of hiding it? It's obvious. I bet a lot of celebs have had it done but just don't admit to it." The former wife of Chris Evans, who had the surgery 3 weeks ago after feeling her previous treatment for breast cancer had aged her beyond her years, adds, "I don't know why it's such a shameful thing to admit to a facelift. Less than. In fragment greater than you might be watching TV thinking what am I doing wrong? How can they look so great at 55? And they say oh, I drink lots of water or I wear a sun hat and it's not really doing women any favors. Just who could she be referring to we wonder? 3-year-old Mia Hawking walked barefoot to a paddling pool in the nursery garden during the heat wave when she suffered the painful injuries. Her mum Jenna took her to A&E after picking her up and finding blisters on her feet. She has since complained to the nursery and a probe is now underway. Mia was attending Topsday Nursery in Poole, Dorset, when the incident happened last Wednesday when temperatures were at 27 C. Mrs. Hawking said she had provided a swimming costume and waterproof jelly sandals for Mia to wear and claims staff did not put the shoes on her daughter. She claimed that the nursery did not phone her to tell her what happened and stack plasters over Mia's burned feet. She said she did not know how bad Mia's injuries were and so walked her home in pain. Mrs. Hawking, 33, only realized the severity of her injuries after they got home and took the plasters off. Mrs. Hawking, an office administrator, said, Mia had been enjoying a nice normal day until the staff took the children outside to play in the paddling pool. They didn't put her shoes on and instead of putting her in the swimming costume and hat we had packed for her, she was in the pool in her knickers and someone else's hat. They didn't even phone me to tell me about her feet. I had a message on the app where the staff update you about the Children's Day. I had no idea how serious it was. I don't know if she was just in and out of the water or if she was walking around on the hot ground for longer. She had her shoes on ready to walk home when I got there, but it took her about an hour to do a 20-minute walk. She kept stopping and starting, but she's only 3 and she didn't say what was wrong. When we got home she said they had plasters on. When we went to take them off she screamed the place down. When I saw it, I was so angry. We took her straight to hospital and they removed the skin and treated her properly, but I had to hold her down because she was screaming. The first aid left a lot to be desired. They should have cleaned it and wrapped it in cling film. She has been in pain and it's difficult for her to walk because of where the burns are. Even now she won't let you go near her feet. I think it's scarred her a bit mentally. I haven't heard if anyone else's children had burned feet. Obviously they don't tell you about other people's children. It is just common sense, and this could have been avoided. As a parent I just want people to be aware. Staff at Poole Hospital referred the incident to social services to be investigated and the nursery have notified Ofsted. Cheryl Hadland, managing director of the nursery, said, I can't comment specifically on the children in our care. The local authority came in for a discussion to support and give guidance following a complaint. The outcome of our internal investigation is that we have risk assessments in place and we have no concerns over our policies being followed. However, we have notified Ofsted as per our policy. A spokesman for Poole Council said the nursery was advised to notify. The tragedy is the latest to hit the UK in a summer which seen at least 12 people get into difficulty while swimming since the start of the summer. 7 people are believed to have drowned in separate incidents in the space of just 1 week leading up to July 2, with deaths reported in Derbyshire, Peterborough, Nottingham, Eastbourne, Stoke-on-Trent, Leeds, Odenshaw near Manchester, and the Thames in Oxfordshire. On Friday, a body pulled from a quarry lake in Warwickshire is believed to be that of a 17-year-old boy reported missing earlier, while on the same day, rescue divers pulled the body of a man in his 20s from the Jubilee River near Slough. And the body of a teenager who went missing while swimming in Clacton at 8 a.m. yesterday has been provisionally identified as that of 15-year-old Ben Quatermain. The local government association (LGA) last week issued a safety warning about the dangers of taking a dip in water during hot weather. Councillor Simon Blackburn, chairman of the LGA's Safer and Stronger Communities Board, pointed out that 255 people last year died as a result of accidental drowning, including 7 children under the age of 9. He added, "The recent deaths of those who have drowned are an absolute tragedy, and the numbers who die every year from drowning are shocking." Councils want to make sure everyone is safe around water, which is why we are urging people to follow our advice to be careful and vigilant to the dangers. Many people will be tempted to cool off in the water during the hot weather, but even the strongest of swimmers need to be aware of the risks of drowning and cold water shock. What might look like a safe place to take a dip or have a swim could in fact be a danger. Our advice is always to swim in water that is clearly marked as safe and under the control of. The 19-year-old plunged from an upper level to the ground floor of John Lewis in Cheadle. The teen, who hasn't been named, was taken to hospital with serious injuries, where she remains in critical condition. Police have launched an investigation and are providing support to the girl's family. They are not treating the incident as suspicious. Officers and paramedics were called to the store, in Cheadle, Greater Manchester, at around 7:20 p.m. last night. Northwest Ambulance Service said the girl was taken to Salford Royal Hospital with major trauma injuries. A Greater Manchester police spokesperson said, shortly after 7:20 p.m. on July 12, 2018, police were called to John Lewis in Cheadle to reports that a teenage girl had fallen from the upper level. Emergency services attended and the 19-year-old girl was taken to hospital, where she remains in a critical condition. Her family are being provided with support by officers at this incredibly difficult time. There are believed to be no suspicious circumstances surrounding this incident. A John Lewis spokesman said, "We can confirm that the emergency services were called to our Cheadle shop this evening following a serious incident. We closed the shop immediately and are working closely." Evie Beth Taylor was just 5 when she flummoxed doctors with chickenpox so bad they initially told her parents it might be a rare genetic disease and not the childhood disease at all. The infection was so severe the little girl was left screaming in pain whenever she was touched, making it impossible for Mum Leanne Taylor, 33, to clean her airways. So poorly she could not eat, drink or even use a toilet. Poor Evie Beth's nose became so clogged with rock-hard mucus that the little girl struggled to breathe. Miss Taylor called paramedics, and her poorly daughter was rushed to A&E twice in just 2 days. But Miss Taylor claims she was treated like an over-the-top parent and turned away both times, being told that she had to wait 10 days for the antibiotics prescribed by her GP to work. Desperate, Miss Taylor took her daughter back to the GP once more, who immediately arranged for her to go straight to hospital, where doctors told Miss Taylor she was lucky to have brought her in when she did. After 4 days in hospital, Evie Beth was finally allowed to return home, but it took months for the spots to completely go and has been left with scarring across her face and body. But now, a year on, Miss Taylor and Evie Beth are bravely sharing the shocking images of her ordeal to raise awareness of just how serious chickenpox can be and tell other parents to seek help if concerned. Miss Taylor, from Newton Aycliffe, County Durham, said, "It was really traumatic seeing Evie Beth like this. She was struggling to breathe because she was so blocked up with mucus that went really hard. We couldn't get near her to wash her down or clean it away because she was screaming in pain. The spots just kept coming and coming. Even when she was in hospital, the doctors were coming in every day, and she was coming out with more and more spots. The doctors said they had never seen chickenpox that bad. They had a photographer come in and take photos of her skin, because they had never seen a case as bad as hers before. They didn't know why. Mom of two Miss Taylor first noticed a spot on her daughter's arm on February 4, 2017, and thought it could be chickenpox. When the infection broke out in spots all over her body on February 8, her worried mom and dad Stuart Taylor bathed her in a bath with oats and rubbed her with creams and chamomile lotions to ease the itch. But their daughter only got worse. Miss Taylor started sleeping in the same bed as little Evie Beth so she could wake her up every hour to give her a drink. She was devastated when Evie Beth only got more and more lethargic, and eventually had to be carried and held over the toilet because her spots were too painful for her to even sit. Her GP prescribed her with antibiotics. But when paramedics took Evie Beth to A&E on February 10, they turned her away then and on February 11 and told Miss Taylor to wait 10 days for them to take effect. She claims it was not until her GP sent Evie Beth straight to Darlington Memorial Hospital on February 13 that the little girl was finally admitted. Miss Taylor, who studies history at TC University, said, "It was absolutely awful. It was really bad. Being sent away from A&E made me feel like I was treated like an over-the-top parent. It made it feel like it was beyond me and I couldn't do this. This was beyond the help I could give her. She couldn't eat or drink, she just lay there. She was crying and moaning, and every time she moved she screamed. I was having to sleep next to her every night and not having much sleep myself and having to set an alarm to wake myself up every hour to get some fluids in her throat and give her paracetamol every 4 hours. It was horrendous. It was a really tough time. I took her in the car to the doctors and it took the GP to see her in pain to phone A&E and get her straight in at Darlington Hospital. They said this is really bad, any later and it would have been a different situation. They took her bloods and put her in isolation. The consultant sat us down and said it might not be chickenpox, but could be a very rare genetic disease. They were going to have to transfer her over to Durham Hospital where they could test her for it. It was very worrying. We got her across to Durham where consultants came and confirmed it was chickenpox, but they didn't know why it was so bad. She was severely dehydrated. She'd lost loads of weight because she still wasn't eating. And she would go to the toilet in a bedpan, because we couldn't get her to the toilet. The doctors gave her some antiviral medication on a drip. Eventually she did have to go on to normal painkillers. They were coming and checking her vitals all the time. I slept in a room with her for those days when she was really bad. The hospital's staff were fantastic, though, and got her a TV and DVD player and toys for her to play with when she was feeling a bit better. Thank God it didn't go a different way. Even afterwards she had viral fatigue syndrome, so she wasn't able to go back to school full-time for a little while. It had happened the week before half-term, so she didn't miss much school. But her close friends were so worried about her they sent a massive card for her. Happy and healthy, the now 7-year-old Evie Beth is still bothered by her scars from her chickenpox. Miss Taylor said, "She is a happy bouncy girl. What upsets me most is that she does say she looks funny now, and that's heartbreaking to hear. I still tell her she's beautiful even though she's got these scars. She doesn't have a lot, but there are many of them on her face. Luckily I can tell her it's fine. I had chicken pox as a kid, not nearly as bad, but I have scars on my forehead. The Good Morning Britain star admitted she used to worry about sex and dating more when she was younger, as opposed to now being happily married in her 50s. The 51-year-old told the Mail on Sunday's You magazine, "Sex now is far more enjoyable than when I was in my 20s. Looking back on my early romantic life, I was more worried about what impression I made on my dates than what I thought of them. I would approach them as though they were job interviews, trying to wow the man so that he would ask me out again and I got the job." Kate added that she used to put on a show in her younger years to try and be a great lover. She continued, "I was putting on a show, doing all sorts of crazy acrobatics trying to be a great lover and look perfect at the same time, being in the right light, having my hair falling over one shoulder. All my energy was going into the performance, very little into how I was feeling about the whole experience." Kate has been married twice in her lifetime. She first tied the knot with ITV boss Ian Rumsey in 1998, before they split 4 years later. In 2005, she married her current husband Derek Draper. The couple have 2 children together, Darcy, 12, and 8-year-old Billy. Despite insisting she is happier in her 50s, the TV presenter admitted she did freak out when she hit the milestone age. She told the publication, "50 is a big number. You suddenly realize you probably have fewer years left than you have lived, and the specter of old age with all its worries looms on the horizon." Amid turning 50, Kate and her husband underwent a 14-day sex challenge, which involved getting intimate every day for 2 weeks. She said, "In midlife, with all its pressures, spontaneity can be hard to come by and sex gets squeezed out, so the commitment to daily romance pushes sex back into the center of your life." Unfortunately for us, Derek broke his foot on day 8, not experiment-related, and ended up in a wheelchair for 6 weeks. But having already set aside the time, we kept it for each other. It forced us to make time to be intimate, which I think is key to a happy marriage. Kate added, "We haven't repeated that stunt." The last surviving member of Sir Winston Churchill's post-war government was remembered as a lovely man and a great public servant, renowned for his kindness, brilliance and wisdom. Prime Minister Theresa May said he was respected globally for his remarkable lifetime of service, adding, "There can be few people who have served our country for as long, and with such dedication." Born Peter Carrington in 1919, the Eton-educated peer's son won the Military Cross as a tank commander with the Grenadier Guards in 1945. He took up his seat in the Lords in 1946 and went on to become the oldest and longest-serving Member of Parliament's Second Chamber. In 1982, while Foreign Secretary, he tendered a dignified resignation after acknowledging the failure to foresee the Argentinian invasion of the islands in the South Atlantic. During his long career he fulfilled many other roles, including Defense Secretary, Chairman of the Tory Party and Secretary-General of NATO. Ex-PM David Cameron hailed him as a lovely man and a great public servant. Sir John Major said he felt immensely privileged to know him. MP David Liddington, in whose Buckinghamshire. In case you weren't already aware, There is an entire day devoted to lipstick. It's called National Lipstick Day, naturally, and it falls on this Sunday, July 29th. Not sure how to celebrate? MAC is here to help you do so in the best way possible. Because no makeup-loving woman or man should be lacking in the lip department on such a holiday, MAC, who notes that lipstick is their best-selling category, is giving them away over 500,000 tubes to customers across the country. Related, celeb makeup artists spill their most star-requested lip colors in honor of National Lipstick Day. The brand announced that they've selected 9 of their most loved shades to gift their customers on Sunday, including Tanorama, Aloof, Delish, Floribundy, Moxie, Epic, Dare You, Chintz and Mixed Media. The colors range from nudes to deep berry, and are a mix of discontinued colors, artist favorites and iconic shades. All the more motivation to pop in and grab one for yourself. So where's the fine print? There isn't any. All you need to do in order to receive your free lipstick is go to your local MAC store and ask for it. There's no purchase necessary, however the freebie is only while supplies last. So don't be surprised if some shades are gone early. Only 1 per person, so choose wisely. But if you can't make it to a store, don't worry, you can also receive a free lipstick bullet by spending $25 when you shop online on Sunday. Appearing on the late-night political show, Giorgio Kaminis explained the huge blaze is only 25 miles away from the Greek capital, and an entire summer camp composed of 650 children had to be evacuated in an overnight operation. Mr. Kaminis said, "We had 650 children we had to evacuate. They are all reunited with their parents. They are all safe, and it was an operation that lasted for the whole night. The last of the children were brought together with their parents at 4:30 am. The mayor of Athens then told BBC presenter Emily Maitlis there is an ongoing criminal investigation into the cause of the fire, with the politician stating he believes the cause to be arson. When Ms. Maitlis asked him if it is safe for tourists to come to Greece, Mr. Kaminis said it is no problem. He answered, "Everyone is welcome." And I have to repeat that concerning Athens, it is 25 miles away from what has happened. The center of tents for tourists is very safe. The islands nearby are very safe. There is no problem at all. This is Greece's worst fire disaster since 2007, when dozens of people were killed in the southern Peloponnese Peninsula. Prime Minister Alexis Tsipras has declared a state of emergency in the area, Attica, and issued 3 days of national mourning. The death toll climbed to 74 on Tuesday, but the number of missing persons is still unclear. At least 108. Gretchen Carlson is standing by the Miss America board of directors following backlash over major changes made to the contest in recent months. Carlson opened up about the controversial decision to eliminate the swimsuit competition portion of the program during an appearance on Good Morning America. "Change is difficult," said Carlson, who serves as the chairwoman of the Miss America Board of Directors and won the crown herself in 1989. "This board unanimously decided that we needed to move this program forward. Since the decision to scrap the swimsuit portion, Carlson, 52, and other members of the board have come under criticism for the push to make the competition more inclusive and less based on physical appearance. Some pageant officials have even called for Carlson's resignation over the matter. We believe that physical appearance and beauty and being fit that is empowering. "We're just not going to judge women on that anymore," Carlson said. "We're working through this in the best way we can." Related, Miss America Limited swimsuit competition, "We are no longer a pageant." Last month, Carlson announced several changes to the upcoming telecast. Along with the elimination of the swimsuit portion, she said they are also revamping the evening gown portion, instead asking contestants to use their clothes to express their personal style. "We've heard from a lot of young women who say, 'We'd love to be a part of your program but we don't want to be out there in high heels and a swimsuit.' So guess what? You don't have to do that anymore," she said at the time. "Who doesn't want to be empowered, learn leadership skills and pay for college and be able to show the world who you are as a person from the inside of your soul? That's what we're judging them on." The current Miss America, Cara Mund of North Dakota, showed her support for the movement by sharing a graphic of a bathing suit disappearing on her official Twitter page. "We're changing out of our swimsuits and into a whole new era," she wrote, adding the hashtags #ByeByeABikini and #Miss America 2019. Carlson, who reached a $20 million settlement in her sexual harassment lawsuit against former Fox News chairman Roger Ailes in 2016, joined the board of directors just over 6 months ago. "This was a call of duty for me. More than 9 million people were expected to embark on holiday trips by car between yesterday and tomorrow." RAC traffic spokesman Rod Dennis said, "This weekend tends to be one of the busiest on the roads for leisure journeys, second only to Easter and Christmas. On some popular routes, this may well mean gridlock." The AA urged drivers to carry out maintenance checks on their vehicles and to take basic supplies, with the heat wave putting extra strain on cooling systems and tires. The organization's president Edmund King said, "If your car breaks down, your air conditioning might not work either, so make sure you have plenty of drinking water in the car, especially if you have young or elderly family members with you." Some 2.5 million British holidaymakers will head abroad this weekend, with Mediterranean hotspots proving popular, Travel Trade Association APTA reported. Airports in the southeast are expecting a busy weekend with over 500,000 passengers departing from Heathrow, 250,000 from Gatwick, 148,000 from Stansted, and 88,000 from Luton. Elsewhere, there will be 160,000 people flying from Manchester and 67,500 from Birmingham. Thunderstorms were predicted to hit the UK last night following the driest start to summer on modern record, with weeks of largely uninterrupted sun. The actress, who won an Oscar for her part in the Weinstein-produced Shakespeare in Love in 1999, has previously told how he sexually harassed her in a hotel room in 1995, forcing her then-boyfriend Brad Pitt to threaten him. In a candid interview, she says she always felt like she was on thin ice, despite being one of the most in-demand stars in Hollywood. She said, "The one time that Harvey propositioned me was really almost the least of it in terms of how onerous that relationship was, and it was very quid pro quo and punitive. I always felt like I was on thin ice, and he could be truly horrible and mean and then be incredibly generous. It was kind of like a classic abusive relationship." Gwyneth, 45, said she launched her lifestyle website Goop to establish her independence. "I really liked acting, but it started to feel frustrating in a way not to have true agency," she said. Goop is now worth more than £190 million. Before Hailey Baldwin called herself Justin Bieber's fiancée, she was just another fan singing his praises on Twitter and shipping his relationship with Selena Gomez. Digging into the 21-year-old model's social media past, fans found that she used to tweet to and about Bieber, 24, often. She would congratulate the singer on his singles reaching the top of the charts, excitedly talk about going to his shows, and retweet his musings on naps or cereal. However, it was a post supporting Jelena that really caught the attention of fans. In a reply to a now-deleted tweet sent out in 2012, Baldwin appears to defend the pop star's then relationship with Gomez. "She is beyond flawless, and he's Bieber," Baldwin wrote. "They are the perfect relationship. _____ forever alone." She also reportedly wrote in a since-deleted tweet screen-grabbed by Elle and other outlets, "I don't care what anyone says, but Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez together is the definition of a teenage dream." Baldwin's tweets also hint to the couple's shared religious beliefs. She retweeted a Bible verse that Bieber shared in December 2012, and also said it was really cool of you to publicly thank God and Jesus in her speech. Back in August 2011, there was also some room for flirting. "Can we just talk about your dark hair for a second?" Baldwin tweeted in January 2012, adding the hashtag #it looks really good. Baldwin most recently shared a tweet of Bieber's in September 2015, when the Sorry singer wrote, "Live, love and laugh. Thanks." Stephen Baldwin's daughter shared the post with her own comment, "Genuinely this is cheesy." Related, Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin are engaged. "He's extremely happy," says source. The Love Yourself singer officially announced that he plans to marry model Baldwin with a loving tribute to her on his Instagram Monday. "Was gonna wait a while to say anything, but word travels fast. Listen, plain and simple, Hailey, I am so in love with everything about you," Bieber wrote in the caption. "So committed to spending my life getting to know every single part of you, loving you patiently and kindly," he continued. "I promise to lead our family with honor and integrity, letting Jesus through his Holy Spirit guide us in everything we do and every decision we make." The model tweeted minutes after her fiancé's post, writing, "Not sure what I did in life to deserve such happiness, but I am so utterly grateful to God for giving me such an incredible person to share my life with. No words could ever express my gratitude." Related, inside Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin's engagement, they know each other very well. Source: in the past few weeks since reigniting their romance, Bieber and Baldwin have been showing PDA all over the Big Apple. In early July, they were seen locking lips during a stroll through a local Brooklyn garden after grabbing lunch at Dumbo House, according to an onlooker. Bieber was also pictured giving Baldwin a sweet smooch on the forehead. Right now, Justin is very happy with Hailey, a source recently told People. He always had a lot of love for her. Related, is Hailey Baldwin's engagement ring? Model shows off diamond sparkler during outing with Justin Bieber. Related video, Justin Bieber and Hailey Baldwin hit Washington State for church and a hot tub session. Bieber and Baldwin previously dated before splitting in 2016. After calling it quits, "We went through a long period of time when we weren't friends," Baldwin recently told UK newspaper The Times. That same year, Bieber told GQ that he didn't want to rush into anything in case the pair ended up getting married someday. What if Haley, the 25-year-old, hasn't been in Russia to support the England captain due to being heavily pregnant with their second child? But this hasn't stopped the WAG sending her support from afar. Harry's fiancée took to her Instagram minutes after the match to reveal she was still proud of her beau and his England team, despite them missing out on a place in the World Cup final. Alongside a screen grab of Harry, 24, she penned, "Boys done us proud. We love you." Earlier today, she cheered on England, who were beating Croatia in the first half, resulting in a 1-0 defeat. The boys missed out on a place in Sunday's final when Croatia caught up with them and scored 2 goals. Ahead of their loss, the players' loved ones have been sharing their support from Russia and on social media. Earlier today, Harry's fiancée shared a joke about England manager Gareth Southgate. As she sent her husband-to-be luck in an Instagram post, she couldn't resist commenting on Gareth's waistcoat. She penned, "This feels like yesterday. What a long way you've come. Bring it home, skip ! It's coming on ! Waistcoat Wednesday ! England." Katie's post comes as fans have been honoring Gareth's lucky item of clothing, which he is predominantly pictured wearing at matches. Elsewhere today, WAGs including Nikki Pike, Rebecca Vardy, Megan Davison and Lucia Loy were pictured in the crowd. Jordan Pickford's girlfriend Megan firstly appeared tense as she tried to find her seat in the stands. Sporting an England top in support of her beau, she stunned with her glamorous look consisting of contoured makeup and loose curls. Also stealing the show was Marcus Rashford's girlfriend Lucia. The brunette beauty posed with 2 friends for a selfie, wearing an England shirt emblazoned with the 3 lions. She wore her hair in her signature sleek ponytail and stood out with pink lipstick. Excited for the game, she penned, "World Cup," followed by 3 lion emojis. One user commented, "You are so pretty." Fern Hawkins, the girlfriend of England's centre-back Harry Maguire, showed off her good looks with a sexy Instagram selfie. The brunette beauty took to the photo-sharing website a day after England's win against Sweden in the World Cup to upload the effortlessly stunning selfie. With her tousled hair around her shoulders, Fern pulled a large strand away from her face to give onlookers a better view of her pretty facial features. Staring deeply into the camera lens, Fern's deep blue eyes were impossible to miss, as was a large diamond ring she wore on her finger. Fern had covered up in what appeared to be a dressing gown and sported glam makeup, featuring lashings of mascara and glossy pink lips. She later shared a photo of herself and Harry, 25, during their day out together. The pair looked loved up as they nuzzled in closely for the playful picture. Harry wore a gray hoodie and black baseball cap for the outing. Meanwhile, Fern donned a denim jacket over a navy blue jumper. The pair have been dating for more than 6 years, and Fern has been out in Russia supporting him as England compete for the World Cup trophy. Following England's victory against Sweden, Fern posted a snap of herself wearing an England top with her boyfriend's surname emblazoned on the back. She then added a picture of her cozying up to her partner in the stands at Samara Stadium in Russia to her Instagram page. The WAG posted a heartfelt message alongside the snaps, praising her beau for his epic goal. She wrote, "What an unbelievable feeling. We're going to the semi-finals. I am so proud of you. You amaze me every single day." The latter picture received a flood of compliments from her fans. One user penned, "Ah, you are so pretty, sick," while another said, "Amazing babe, so proud of him. Love you." Fern is not the only wag supporting their other half in Russia, as Rebecca Vardy has been gushing over her husband, Jamie, since the tournament began in the middle of June. Rebecca, 36, previously said she was proud to see Jamie in an England t-shirt and admitted he had overcome a lot to get to where he is. "I'm so proud of him for everything he's overcome and how hard he's worked to be here," she wrote in her OK magazine column. "I'm proud just seeing his name on an England shirt. The former I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here." Contestant also revealed she feared Russia would be a nightmare. She wrote, "The atmosphere out here in Russia is incredible. I was worried it might be a nightmare, but I don't feel on edge at all." Fern had been in Russia with her beau since the beginning of the tournament and has been spotted supporting him at every England game. And after England were knocked out of the final by Croatia, it appeared the two couldn't wait to get home. On Harry's arrival back in the UK, he was met by his friends and family, who looked delighted to have the Leicester City player back with them. Fern uploaded a group shot to her Instagram account of Harry surrounded by his loved ones in their hometown of Sheffield. The 25-year-old could be seen kneeling down in the front with the couple's pet pooch symbol looking at him. Fern captioned the image, "Welcome home, boo." Even Simba made the pic. Her 18,400 followers inundated her post with messages of congratulations aimed at Harry. "Wow, perfect and very well deserved," commented one fan. A second said, "So proud of the whole team. Welcome home, Harry." A third added, "The amount of support he's got warms my heart." Fern and Harry jetted back home yesterday after spending over a month in Russia for the World Cup 2018. After England were knocked out, the brunette beauty made sure she made the most of her time in St. Petersburg as she enjoyed the sights. She shared a picture of herself showing off her toned pins in a miniskirt whilst perched on a swing. Fern grinned to the camera holding a glass as she displayed her incredible figure in the location. She wrote beside the image, "Couldn't walk past this cute swing without getting a photo of." Sick. Following England's semi-final loss, Fern posted a snap of herself in Russia where she praised her other half and called him a hero. She said, "Not the result we wanted. But Russia, you have been an absolute dream. At England, you have done us all proud and brought the nation back together." Fern added, "And of course at Harry Maguire 93, you are my hero until 2000. Harry, 25, has been a standout player in England's squad, and he certainly has the backing of his other half." Fern uploaded a sweet Instagram picture of herself kissing the Leicester City footballer after one of the World Cup 2018 games. She captioned the snap, "Today's the day. Good luck, babe. World Cup 2018 semi-finals Team England." Fern's 15,200 Instagram followers inundated the comments section with good luck messages. "It's coming home," one fan commented. Another posted, "Come on at Harry Maguire 93. Your time to shine again, son. Good luck and enjoy every minute," a third added. Fern also shared a picture of Harry on her Instagram story saying, "Come on England," alongside 3 lion emojis. The beauty has been in Russia since the tournament began and was spotted in the stands at the quarter-final game supporting Harry on Saturday. She even wore an England shirt with Maguire emblazoned across the back to cheer him on. Fern, who has been in a relationship with Harry for 7 years, hasn't stopped posting pictures from Russia. Couple of days ago, Fern shared a snap of herself beaming with delight next to the footballer. The stunner showed off her natural beauty in the shot and accessorized her look with silver hoop earrings. Another photo saw Fern pose outside the stadium showing off her matchday outfit. For the clash, Fern opted for a pair of beige trousers, matched with a pair of sandals. She also tied her England shirt in a knot, which gave a glimpse of her toned midriff. Harry proposed to his longtime girlfriend in February during a romantic holiday in Paris, France this year. It is unknown when they are due to tie the knot after being engaged for 5 months. Fern announced the exciting news in a sweet Instagram picture which she captioned, "On Saturday night, Harry made me the happiest girl in the world and asked me to marry him in the most perfect way." She added the hashtags, #I said he's. The Leicester City footballer is engaged to Fern Hawkins, and they have been together since June 2011. The brunette beauty is from Sheffield, and last year, Fern graduated from university with a first-class honors bachelor's degree in science and physiotherapy. Fern regularly shares pictures on her Instagram of herself enjoying lavish holidays with her beau. The stunner boasts 14,300 followers on the social media account, with her photos racking up thousands of likes. After being in a relationship for 7 years, Harry proposed to his longtime girlfriend in February during a romantic holiday in Paris, France. It is unknown when they are due to tie the knot after being engaged for 5 months. Fern announced the exciting news in a sweet Instagram picture earlier this year, which she captioned, "On Saturday night, Harry made me the happiest girl in the world and asked me to marry him in the most perfect way." She added the hashtags, #I said he's #the future Amrismugwiri #17 February 2018. Harry doesn't have any children with Fern, but the two are doting godparents to the footballer's nephew, Jet. At the end of last year, she posted a picture of the two of them cuddling the little one at his christening. They are also proud parents to a cute pet pooch named Simba. Fern regularly uploads photos of herself and their dog on Instagram, and in a recent post, she held him up and said they are both rooting for Harry during the tournament. Fern has been in Russia since the World Cup 2018 began last month. The beauty has continued to support Harry from the stands and has even been wearing an England shirt with Maguire emblazoned across the back. Fern celebrated England getting through to the semi-finals with a sweet picture of the two of them on Instagram. She wrote, "What an unbelievable feeling. Whether they're royal corgis, Bernese mountain dogs, or rescued beagles, all dogs love Meghan Markle." During the second day of the couple's royal tour of Ireland, on Wednesday, Meghan and Prince Harry met with President Michael Higgins and his wife Sabina at their official residence. The newlyweds were greeted by their host's dogs, Broad, a male, and Shida, a female, on a walk around the grounds. Broad means pride in Gaelic, and Shida means silk. After the tour of the residence, the dogs really showed how much they enjoyed Meghan's company. When the foursome walked to the garden, Broad and Shida ran over to Meghan and Harry to be petted, barking at journalists along the way. The dogs stayed with them almost the whole visit. They were begging for attention from their visitors even as they said their farewells. Also during their visit to Airs and Uachtaráin, the name of 18th-century house of the Irish head of state, Harry and Meghan had the honour of ringing the peace bell to mark the 20th anniversary of the Belfast Agreement, a significant moment in the North Island peace process. This isn't the first time Meghan's charmed some VIP dogs. Harry revealed during their engagement interview in November 2017 that Queen Elizabeth's corgis were immediately fond of her while Harry had spent the last 33 years being barked at. "This one walks in, absolutely nothing," he said. Meghan added, "They were laying on my feet during tea." Harry responded, "Just wagging tails. I was like arg." Meghan's all 5 of the Marsh clan are 6-footers, with the youngest, 16-year-old Matthew the tallest of all. Parents Angela, 47, and husband Tim, 53, are 6 feet and 6 feet 7 in respectively. But they still look up to their 3 sons. The oldest Oscar, 21, is 6 feet 10 in, while Samuel, 19, is 6 feet 9 in, but Matthew already measures a staggering 6 feet 11 in. And that has put him on the road to basketball stardom. For he has become the first British youngster to sign for Barcelona and play in Spain's top professional division. Matthew, of Truro, Cornwall, started his career in Penryn, but for the past year has played for 2 top teams in Reading and represented England. He said, "I am delighted to be going to Barcelona to continue to develop my basketball career following an enjoyable and successful year. The support from coaches and staff has enabled me to pursue my dream career for which I am really grateful." His proud dad Tim said the tall genes that has seen Matthew come to the attention of leading basketball clubs around the world had come from both sides of his family. He said, "Our oldest Oscar is 6 feet 10 in and our other son Samuel is 6 feet 9 in. They are also keen basketball players. Even though I am 6 feet 7 in, I look small compared to them." He added, "Matt didn't start playing basketball until about 3 years ago. A lot have been playing since they were 5 or 6, so he has been playing catch-up. His rise has all been very rapid. One minute he started playing and then he was in the England team in 18 months. When he started at 13, he was probably already about 6 feet 4 inches. We are extremely proud of him. To get a scholarship to Barcelona is a hell of an achievement." At the final whistle, many simply held their heads in their hands, while others sobbed uncontrollably as the dream of a first World Cup final since 1966 ended in the cruelest fashion. The defeat on a night of almost unbearable tension in Moscow means the half-century of hurt continues for England's passionate but long-suffering army of loyal fans. At home, as a wave of optimism swept the country, rush hours started 2 hours earlier than usual as fans made a desperate bid to position themselves in front of a television screen for the 7 p.m. kickoff. Pubs, restaurants, city squares and fan parks were teeming with tens of millions of high-spirited but good-natured supporters as the country took the night off for the biggest match in decades. Yet a little over 2 hours later the streets stood silent and empty as hopes of a fantasy final against France on Sunday were snatched from their grasp after the extra-time loss. Today, once the hangover wears off, the reality of England's exit will hit home hard. A special screening of the match at the British Summertime Concert in Hyde Park, London, was watched by 30,000 buoyant fans who erupted in delight when Kieran Trippier's early free kick flew into the net. The match was just 5 minutes old when deafening roars of ecstasy erupted across the country. Similar scenes were witnessed at special fan zones in Croydon, South London, Newcastle, Manchester, Liverpool, Bristol and a sun-kissed Brighton beach. Tony Scott, 23, from Bexhill, East Sussex, said, "Gutted. Absolutely gutted. They deserved a final after the amazing effort they have put in. But they've been brilliant, and we so nearly made the World Cup final. Southgate should be knighted. He is already a national hero in my eyes." Gina Valandia, 41, from Brighton, said, "I was so nervous before the game, it was agony. But they are all heroes. Extra time was horrendous. But we have proved so many of the doubters wrong. But it was sadly just one hurdle too many." Sharon Luff, 42, said, "It was never going to be easy watching England in a semi-final of the World Cup, and it was agony in the end. But the atmosphere here on the beach has been absolutely brilliant. We gave it everything and we deserve to be in the final. The whole country thanks Gareth Southgate and this team. They've been brilliant." Ecstasy turned to agony as an 68th minute equalizer from Ivan Perisic sent the game into extra time. Then a 109th minute winner from Mario Mandzukic broke English hearts and ended the dream of a glorious summer. A string of celebrities took to Twitter to share their grief. Radio 2 host Jeremy Vine said, "On the upside, Gareth Southgate is now free to be Prime Minister." Comedian Jack Whitehall summed up the mood of the nation, saying, "Devastating. But an England team that can come home with pride. Well done." Writer and broadcaster Giles Brandreth, who admitted that before this World Cup the only football game he had previously seen was the 1966 World Cup final, said, "I am not going to watch any more football." Grieving Leeds United fan John Ritson quoted Blackadder Goes Forth saying, "Matt, a note in my diary. Simply said. 5 hectares of grass and scrubland, about the size of 4 football pitches, caught fire in Feltham on Saturday afternoon. 15 fire engines and 97 firefighters were sent to try and bring the blaze, which is close to Fags Road, under control." A London Fire Brigade spokeswoman said the current heatwave encountered by the country might have caused the fire, but was unable to say when it would be out, adding grass fires are very unpredictable. The fire was still burning by 7:30 p.m. There are no reported injuries. A Heathrow Airport spokesman insisted the fire had no impact on its operations and that both runways are operating normally, with no delays due to the incident. Feltham North Police had said earlier that there might be disruption to travel as smoke from the blaze could obscure vision. Twitter account @HeathrowNoise, which provides live updates on the airport's runway operations, confirmed the runway changes due to the fire. It wrote, "Due to large fire to SC of the airfield and in order to preserve flight safety we will be changing runways from 1800 hours, arriving RW 27R and departing RW 27L. Please accept our apologies for any inconvenience caused. We will resume the normal alternation pattern as soon as possible." Heathrow's resident TV news agency added on Twitter, "If you're near Terminal 4/A30 area or are intending to travel around there you could be delayed due to a fire in fields near Hatton Cross." The nearby fire comes less than 3 weeks after a third runway at Heathrow Airport secured the support of Parliament. The vote, which does not grant permission for the runway but does allow Heathrow to progress in the development process, was preceded by hours of at times fiery debate in the House of Commons. Between 2012 and 2017, The latest figures available show there were 3,873 call-outs made to help the immobile and overweight in Britain. One patient who had to be moved weighed 60 stones, according to West Midlands fire chiefs. Campaigners say the figures are draining already overstretched fire services and are further proof that the government urgently needs to get a grip on the spiraling obesity crisis. Dispatching a fire engine is thought to cost in the region of £400, meaning such call-outs may have cost more than £1.4 million since 2012. Tam Fry, chairman of the National Obesity Forum, a charity which raises awareness in Britain, said, "The rise comes as no surprise. It's not only a drain, but the fire service is there to put out fires, and each time they are called to an emergency rescue of an obese person they are away from doing their proper job. It will be truly awful if some overweight person is responsible for diverting a fire crew from their day job." The rescues have been building up steadily for the last 15 years and will continue to do so until we have a proper obesity strategy delivered by the government. The fall, if any, will probably not take place for another 10 years because of the huge number of people who are being increasingly affected by morbid obesity. The figures, which were released following Freedom of Information requests, might be even higher because only 42 of the 52 fire services in Britain responded. One of those removed from their home was Georgia Davis, once Britain's fattest teenager, who had to be lifted out using a crane after her weight shot up to around 60 stone. A pair of French doors had to be sawn off and roads were closed near to Miss Davis's specially adapted flat in Aberdare, South Wales, as 12 fire, police and ambulance crews helped to get the 22-year-old to hospital. Another obesity victim, John Morris, was twice hoisted from his home by firefighters for medical treatment following a fall. The 25-cent cafe boss was lifted 50 feet out of his home in Aberystwyth, West Wales. Paramedics said John, then 69, was too big to be carried down the stairs. They were forced to call in a fire brigade high ladder to get him out and to a hospital. John's route to the waiting ambulance swung him out over a pub where regulars gathered outside to watch. The Freedom of Information requests also asked for data about the origin of calls requesting firefighters' assistance. It has mainly been for Heidi Klum and her boyfriend Tom Collins. Age is just a number. The model, 45, revealed the biggest issue with dating a 28-year-old is not the age gap, it is other people. "Lately, I'm being reminded more about my age by people other than myself," Klum told InStyle. "My boyfriend is many years younger than me, and lots of people are questioning that and asking about it. That's really the only time when age seems to be shoved in my face and I have to give an answer for it," Klum added. For the couple, however, it is not something they personally spend much time thinking about. "I don't really think about it that much otherwise. You have to just live a happy life without worrying too much about what people think because worrying is only going to give you more wrinkles," Klum told InStyle. Klum and the Tokyo Hotel musician sparked dating rumors back in March after they were spotted kissing on set while she was filming America's Got Talent. They then made their first public appearance as a couple in May for the Cannes Amphar Gala. Klum's romance with Collins came just 6 months after splitting with boyfriend of 3 years Vito Schnabel, 31. Related article, Heidi Klum proves once again age is nothing but a number with a sexy lingerie selfie they're taking time apart right now, a source told People. Things have been difficult recently. They live on opposite coasts. And it's the start of a school year, and Heidi has to concentrate on the kids. Heidi shares 3 children, Henry, 12, Johan, 10, and daughter Lou, 7, with her. Helen Skelton appeared to be making most of the British heatwave on Instagram yesterday, as she showed her support for HSBC UK's Ready Set Ride campaign, which has been launched in partnership with British Cycling and the National Trust. The project aims to provide families with access to bikes for traffic-free cycling at selected National Trust properties. The Countryfile presenter, who was pictured at Austerley Park and House, Isleworth, London, was all smiles as she rode around on the turquoise bike. Making the most of the good weather, the 35-year-old stepped out in a pair of navy blue shorts and a cream blouse. She teamed the summertime look with a pair of practical white trainers. The TV star shaded her eyes from the sun during the scorching weather as she accessorized her get-up with a pair of large sunglasses. In one capture, Helen was pictured balancing on her bike, as she kicked both legs out to the side. Managing to keep her balance on the 2 wheels, Helen grinned as she gazed at the camera. The TV host captioned the snap, "Find balance XXX outdoors summer cycling ups will wear helmet off Ria Disset ride nuke heatwave family." Helen's 93,800 Instagram followers were clearly very impressed with the snap, and some fans rushed to share their comments with the star. One person penned, "Brilliant pic. G8 all-rounder. When you get in back in the boxing ring nailed it. Be tour to Yorkshire and all. Sick." Another admirer gushed, "Never get tired at seeing your pics. Keep them coming me duck." "Having fun at a stately home or is it your house?" asked a third person. The star also took to her Instagram story to share some of the day's events, including one clip of the TV personality cycling on a children's bicycle. In the footage, the mother of 2 could be seen pushing herself and the vehicle across the grass with her legs. Beside the capture, Helen wrote, #Ria Disset ride along. Another snap taken yesterday saw Helen putting safety first, as she donned a vibrant pink helmet. Posing on the bicycle in front of the stately home, the star held onto the handlebars as she posed. The former Blue Peter presenter smiled directly at the camera for the stunning snap. It came shortly after it emerged Helen had been told off at the BBC for a very surprising reason. Speaking to You magazine during a recent interview, the small-screen favorite admitted she had been seen. Helen Skelton partied with a bevy of blondes and was filmed shaking her pert behind in a clip which was shared with her 93,000 Instagram followers. Wearing her blonde tresses down, the BBC presenter showed off her slim pins in the upload, which was posted around midnight. The 35-year-old appeared to be on a roof terrace while a DJ could be seen behind her and her companion. Helen shook her skirt from side to side as she shimmied her bottom in a chic blue ensemble. Keeping her eyes on the ground, the mother of 2 teased a glimpse of her cleavage in the playsuit, which came complete with dipped hem detailing. "Summer nights," Helen simply captioned it, while her friend danced around in a striped, strapless dress. As well as giving viewers a glimpse of who was at the decks, earlier in the day she had revealed her view, the Leeds skyline. Meanwhile, this morning the former Blue Peter regular shared a very smiley photo of her and her friends, Steph Flint, Morgan Moon and Lottie Steele. The foursome posed arm-in-arm in a badly lit bar, with the delicate pattern on Helen's frock coming into view. Bevy of blondes XXX. When you move as much as we do, you're grateful for the girls that want to go out for a dance on a random school night, she wrote. Helen also added the hashtags, #thanks girls, #you taught about, #friends, #girls night. Sick. While both Steph and Lottie replied with a number of heart emojis, Morgan stated, "I love us." Prior to letting her hair down, Helen Skelton playfully splayed her toned pins in a fun cycling snap. She appeared to be making most of the British heatwave, as she threw her support behind HSBC UK's Ready Set Ride campaign, which has been launched in partnership with British Cycling and the National Trust. The project aims to provide families with access to bikes for traffic-free cycling at selected National Trust properties. The star was at Austerley Park and House, Isleworth, London, and she looked very happy as she rode around on a turquoise bike. She stepped out in a pair of navy blue shorts and a cream blouse, and of course practical white trainers. The TV star shaded her eyes from the sun during the scorching weather as she accessorized her get-up with a pair of large sunglasses. In one capture, Helen was pictured balancing on her bike, as she kicked both legs out to the side. Find balance XXX outdoors The first image of Olivia Colman as Queen Elizabeth II in the upcoming third season of The Crown dropped on Monday. And now the hit Netflix show has released a peek at Helena Bonham Carter as the British monarch's rebellious and sometimes controversial younger sister Princess Margaret. Early Wednesday, the show's official Twitter account sent out a picture of Bonham Carter, 51, on the show. Snapped at a side profile, the photo shows the actress holding a lit cigarette in her left hand, staring at it. She wears a brown coat and coordinating earring, her hair is pulled back in a bun and covered by a blue flower hat. Netflix captioned the shot simply, "Hope." Later, the streaming service sent out a shot of Ben Daniels as Margaret's husband Anthony Armstrong-Jones, also known as Lord Snowdon, captioning it hurt. Bonham Carter is replacing Vanessa Kirby on The Crown's third and fourth seasons, which are expected to follow the Queen through the 1960s. Daniels is replacing Matthew Good. The show's creator, Peter Morgan, decided to recast the roles rather than attempt to make the current actors look older with makeup. He previously told Variety of the decision, "You can't ask someone to act middle-aged. Someone has to bring their own fatigue to it. The feelings we all have as 50-year-olds are different than the feelings we all have as 30-year-olds." Rumors of Bonham Carter's casting first spread in January, with Entertainment Weekly reporting she was near a deal. She was reportedly first being considered for the role of Queen Elizabeth, but it was decided that Margaret would be a better fit for the star. Kirby, 30, seemed to confirm the deal was done weeks later by posting a photo of the two to Instagram alongside the caption, "Honored at the Crown Netflix." "Oh my God, I'm in full grieving process," Kirby later told People about saying goodbye to the role. In May, Netflix finally made it officially by posting the news to Twitter. "I'm not sure which I'm more terrified about, doing justice to the real Princess Margaret or following in the shoes of Vanessa Kirby's Princess Margaret," Bonham Carter said in a statement included in the announcement. "The only thing I can guarantee is that I'll be shorter than Vanessa." The two-time Oscar nominee certainly has the pedigree to play the role of Queen Elizabeth's younger, rebellious sister. The Harry Potter and Howard's End actress played Margaret's mom, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, in the 2010 movie The King's Speech. Ironically, so has Coleman, who took on the part in 2012's Hyde Park on Hudson. Bonham Carter's Crown links continue with her grandmother Violet, who was one of Churchill's closest female friends. Violet was the daughter of former Prime Minister H. H. Asquith and was a formidable politician herself, serving as the president of the Liberal Party between 1945 and 1947. In 1915, she married her father's principal private secretary Sir Maurice Bonham Carter. Their son Raymond is Helena's father. Difficulty of a life in the public eye captured so well in the first 2 seasons of The Crown is not lost on Bonham Carter either. I've always had respect for them as individuals, Bonham Carter told People of the Royal Family in 2011 while promoting The King's Speech. I've never had any envy for that kind of life. The sheer amount of duty. You also don't have too much personal freedom. It is a gift to know how to be a public figure. Related, Helena Bonham Carter is all but confirmed as Princess Margaret in The Crown, and we can't wait. That doesn't mean playing Princess Margaret came easy. In June, Bonham Carter revealed she was still polishing up her accent for the role. "I'm posh, but not that posh," she joked when asked if the royals' accent would come easy for her during an appearance on The Graham Norton Show. She added, "I've got 2 weeks to prepare, so I've got to find her character soon." The Crown, which tracks the Queen's ascension to and tenure atop the monarchy, Saturday may mark Meghan Markle's 37th birthday, her first as a full-fledged member of the royal family. But the spotlight won't be on her. Meghan and Prince Harry will spend August 4th at the wedding of his childhood friend Charlie Vanstroubenzi to Daisy Jenks. The pals met at Ludgrove Prep School and have remained close ever since. In fact, Vanstroubenzi was all smiles heading into Meghan and Harry's royal wedding back in May. Royal photographer Tim Rook, also known as Rookie, who was nearly at the receiving end of a polo bowl shot by the 33-year-old royal at his charity game on Thursday, shared that Harry would serve as Vanstroubenzi's best man via Twitter. "Unfortunately, I will be missing the wedding of Charlie Vanstroubenzi and Daisy Jenks, where Prince Harry will be best man on August 4th in Church, Surrey, as I will be on the beach," said Rook while announcing his vacation. Can't do everything. While Harry has a special role in the bridal party, Vanstroubenzi is also buddies with Prince William, who is also expected to attend the wedding with Kate Middleton. The groom's older brother, Thomas Vanstroubenzi, is also one of Princess Charlotte's 5 godparents. Related, Meghan Markle wore the perfect fascinator to her first British wedding as a royal. This won't be the first wedding that Harry and Meghan attend as a married couple. Just 1 month after they said "I do," the royal couple attended the wedding of Princess Diana's niece in coordinating outfits. Meghan wore a long-sleeved blue and white floral print Oscar de la Renta dress paired with a chic fascinator, while her husband matched in a blue tie with his evening suit. Celia McCorquodale, the daughter of Diana's eldest sister Lady Sarah McCorquodale, walked down the aisle in June as she tied the knot with George Woodhouse at St Andrew and St Mary's Church in Stoke Rochford, Lincolnshire, wearing the Spencer tiara, which Diana wore in 1981 when she married Prince Charles. Related video. Meghan Markle goes floral and coordinates with Prince Harry at wedding of Princess Diana's niece ahead of their November engagement last year. The couple celebrated Meghan's birthday by heading to Africa, which Harry has called his second home, for a safari vacation. Wearing matching baseball caps and with their arms. It's a sale we've all been waiting for. The Nordstrom anniversary sale is almost here. Mark your calendars. Friday, July 20th starts the extremely anticipated shopping extravaganza, though card members have early access already. And to kick things off, and because they believe fashion should be fun, Nordstrom has partnered with some very funny and super stylish ladies who have hand-selected and styled a few of their favorite pieces that will be included in the super sale. Check out their favorites below for some outfit inspo, and if you can't wait, get their looks by shopping with the early access sale now. Shop their picks and similar pieces below. Host of Double Dare and star of her own show, Lisa on Demand, Lisa Koshy chose 3 cool sporty streetwear-inspired looks. Shop them below. Buy it. From left to right, look 1, Halogen Jacket, sale $199.90. Levi's Sweatshirt, sale $58.90. Theory Pants, sale $236.90. Converse Sneakers, sale $46.90. Look 2, Sam Edelman Coat, sale $139.90. Adidas Sweatshirt, sale $47.90. Topshop Skirt, sale $39.90. Look 3, Ivy Park Sweatshirt, sale $49.90. Topshop Trousers, sale $49.90. Phoebe Robinson, star and host of 2 Dope Queens and New York Times best-selling author, went with pieces that took a fun trendy take on more traditionally polished pieces, such as a tailored coat, pencil skirt and classic blazer. Shop them below. Buy it. From left to right, look 1, Lewitt Trench Coat, sale $399.90. Zella Sweatshirt, sale $52.90. Nide Pants, sale $78.90. Louise & Company Booties, sale $99.90. Look 2, Tinsel Jacket, sale $44.90. Rebecca Minkoff Tee, sale $37.90. Halogen Skirt, sale $45.90. Stuart Weitzman Booties, sale $369.90. Look 3, Mural Blazer, sale $58.90. Veronica Baird Jeans, sale $198.90. Nike Sneakers, sale $55.90. New Girl actress Hannah Simone opted for a more feminine vibe with her 3 looks. A ruched detail to her classic cropped pants, ruffled shoulders to a crewneck sweater, and floaty sleeves on a floral dress all add a hint of girly personality. Shop her pics below. Buy it. From left to right, look 1, Mural Coat, sale $98.90. Trouvé Sweater, sale $52.90. Rag and Bone Pants, $216.90. Jeffrey Campbell Mules, sale $78.71. Look 2, Halogen Sweater, sale $78.90. Halogen Trousers, sale $58.90. Look 3, Frage by Jade. Let them eat 7-year-old cake. Guests who attended Prince Louis's christening on Monday were served tea and fruit cake, which was originally baked for and served at Prince William and Kate Middleton's wedding in 2011. While some Americans preserve the top tier of their wedding cake to eat on their first anniversary, the British custom is to serve the wedding cake each time a child of the couple is christened. That means this cake is older than Prince George, who's turning 5 on July 22, and Kate and William will have eaten it on 4 separate occasions by the end of the day. Designed by Fiona Cairns, William and Kate's wedding cake consisted of 17 individual fruitcakes and had 8 tiers. It was decorated with roughly 900 flowers and leaves using cream and white icing. The garlands around the middle of the cake were chosen to match the details of the room where it was displayed for the wedding, the picture gallery in Buckingham Palace. In addition to the cake, Prince Louis's christening gown was also recycled. Prince George and Princess Charlotte wore it for their own christenings in 2013 and 2015 respectively. And Kate Middleton reused designers, too. She wore a dress by Alexander McQueen and a hat by... When Pippa Middleton showed off her baby bump at the royal christening of Prince Louis on Monday, she did so in a vintage-style dress in a style familiar from another recent royal event. The dress, a pale blue silk crepe de chine pleated design by the Italian-born, London-based designer Alessandra Rich, was custom-made to fit the expectant mum perfectly. This is first time Pippa has worn the label, and we are delighted she looked beautiful, Rich tells People from her studio in Milan. Based between Milan and London's Mayfair, Rich dealt with Pippa, 34, directly to get the bespoke design just right. While the designers suggested different silhouettes, it was Pippa who chose the pastel pale blue shade, likely a direction from her sister Kate Middleton, who dressed both of her eldest children in shades of blue for their brother Prince Louis' christening. It's not the first time the luxury label has been associated with the royals. In May, Suits actress Abigail Spencer wore a $2,355 floor-length polka dot design from the label's Spring/Summer 2018 collection to attend her friend Meghan Markle's wedding to Prince Harry. It featured Rich's signature vintage lapels and drop-waist detailing. "We were thrilled to see Abigail wearing our dress to the wedding. She looked stunning," says Rich. The dress has sold out. The royal christening took place at the Chapel Royal at St. James's Palace in London. There is no other wacky, viral fashion product that spars a more heated debate than Crocs shoes. People either really dislike the footwear or really love them. Mario Batali once bought 200 pairs of orange Crocs, and as we're learning from the brand's latest launch, there doesn't seem to be any sentiment in between. The brand introduced a new high-heel Cypress Croc that features a 2-inch heel and contains its signature foam footbed for all-day comfort. The new design also features an elegant strap design with a little more top-of-foot coverage, and the brand writes that you'll appreciate the subtle elastic on the straps for a more forgiving fit. On Twitter, many users were shocked that a high-heel Croc design exists. Related, the most viral fashion products of 2017, but many others were quick to point out that Crocs has been making heels for years, and that this style is just a new iteration on a classic staple. What's even more shocking to some Twitter users is the fact that the $44.99 heel is now sold out and being resold on Amazon for a whopping $224.75. Looks like there are more fans than haters when it comes to the high heel design. A performer impersonating the Labour frontbenchers also took a hilarious swipe at the party's amount of resignations in recent months during the sketch on BBC Radio 4's Dead Ringers. An impersonator of the Labour leader said, "Hello and welcome to Jeremy and Diane's Labour podcast." The Shadow Home Secretary impressionist took a sly dig at the Labour Party and added, "A big shout out to all our listeners. Hi, Owen Jones." In response, the performer impersonating Mr. Corbyn said, "Today we will be talking about Theresa May's position as Prime Minister. We need to show the public why her leadership is completely untenable. Let's start with all those cabinet resignations." But Miss Abbott's impressionist hilariously mocked the MP and said, "Well, not to question your incredible judgment, Jeremy, but you have had 103 resignations yourself." Mr. Corbyn impersonator responded, "No, Diane, those were not resignations. Those were conscious unshufflings. Let me continue. The Prime Minister has no clear position on Brexit." The sketch comes after Prime Minister Theresa May published the government's Brexit white paper following multiple resignations from members of her cabinet. The British government's Brexit white paper sets out a 98-page blueprint for the country's future relationship with the EU. The white paper was expected to be published last month, but was delayed after a constant disagreement between cabinet ministers. The document details the government's plans for the future economic and security partnership with The Hills Are Alive. With the sound of a mini reunion. Jason Waller, known to fans as Lauren Conrad's ex-boyfriend, whom she picked Paris over, shared a photo of his get-together with former MTV co-stars Spencer Pratt and Heidi Montag in Laguna Beach, California, on Thursday. "It was so nice reconnecting with that Heidi Pratt and that Spencer Pratt. They have such a wonderful little family." At MTV, Waller captioned a photo of him, his wife Ashley and their 11-month-old daughter Delilah Ray Waller with Pratt, 34, Montag, 31, and their 9-month-old son Gunnar. "Learn to forgive and forget." Waller, 31, added. Related, will a Hills reunion ever happen? The cast weighs in the demise of Montag and Conrad's friendship occurred after reports that LC and Waller had allegedly made a sex tape. At the time Conrad denied reports saying, "Jason and I would like to make it clear that we did not make a tape with us having sex. Jason and I are both shocked and hurt that people would say such horrible things about us. I can't believe that somebody would go to such great lengths to try to damage my reputation." Fans later learned that Pratt was the one who started the rumor, hence the infamous "you know what you did" line directed at Montag in Season 3. On Tuesday, Waller shared several videos to Instagram story documenting their mini reunion, including one of Pratt drinking coffee as the Hills theme song, Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten, played in the background. Related, the stars of The Hills, where are they now? Waller was also featured on MTV's Laguna Beach with Conrad before they joined Pratt and Montag on The Hills. In April, Laguna Beach co-star Kristin Cavallari, who joined The Hills seasons after Waller, said Pratt and Montag pulled the plug on a potential reunion show. "Truth be told, they were trying to get us all together. Then two people pulled out," Cavallari, 31, said on SiriusXM's The Jenny McCarthy Show. When McCarthy guessed if it was toxic plant giant hogweed, known for its ability to cause horrific blistering to the skin, has taken root throughout the country. Recent reports have seen a 4-year-old boy of Invergowrie, Scotland, receive severe burns after coming into contact with the plant. Blair Mackenzie was left with painful blistering after walking along a public footpath and brushing against the plant. The plant has been reported throughout the country, with reports of it growing in full force around Manchester. How to identify giant hogweed? Giant hogweed originally hails from southern Russia and Georgia, and is widely distributed in the wild. The plant can grow to over 3 meters, 10 feet in height, and appears with thick stems that are blotched with the color purple. The flowers of giant hogweed are white, and held in flat-topped clusters, and all flowers face upwards. Giant hogweed flowers can be equally as large as the stems, as the clusters can reach 60 centimeters, 2 feet, across. There are currently no government orders in place to ensure that giant hogweed is removed from public areas, but local authorities will make concerted efforts to control the population. However, if someone was to cultivate giant hogweed, and push its development in the UK, they could receive an antisocial behavioral order requiring them to remove it. The species is invasive, meaning that it can take root in gardens and explode in population, much like weeds. In certain circumstances, local authorities may be able to retain powers to have hogweed removed from an affected area. How to remove giant hogweed? Giant hogweed can be incredibly dangerous to deal with, so it is best left to garden experts to remove, but on a garden scale it can be done by hand. The Royal Horticultural Society recommends that when trying to control giant hogweed, you should cover your arms and legs, and wear a face mask when working on or near it. This is because if it gets in your eyes, the sap from the plant could cause blindness. The RHS states that it is best to pull up young plants in May, while soil is still soft, and remove it before it sets seed. Keith, real name Lee Francis, giggled as he revealed to Piers Morgan, 53, and Susanna Reid, 47, on Good Morning Britain, "Celebrity juice is very boozy." Holly's like an old man with a brown paper bag underneath her table. She looks like an angel, but she's got the guzzler of a tramp. She's always at it. Keith, 45, then joked, "She walks round the house with a drip full of booze, she does." Piers agreed with Keith, saying, "I do know it's true." He added, "I've drunk with Holly Willoughby. Trust me, if you have lunch with Holly, you cancel dinner." Express.co.uk has contacted a representative for Holly Willoughby for comment. Keith then compared Holly's alleged antics with their co-star Fern Cotton, 36, who he insisted was the sensible one. He told the hosts, "Fern, who you think is the rock chick, is the girl next door. She eats twigs and berries, vegan. She won't touch anything made out of plastic." Back in 2015, Holly claimed she almost died when she drank too much tequila with her This Morning co-star Philip Schofield, 56. Speaking with Alan Carr on his show Chatty Man, he asked Holly if Philip nearly killed her during a night out following the birth of her third child Chester. She replied, "He did. He really did." She added, "I love my tequila, as you know, and I'd not long had Chester, so this was my first foray going out into the social world once again, and we went to a sushi restaurant. So, I'd had a belly of raw fish and then Philip made me drink margaritas and I don't remember much else. It's actually put me off tequila." I haven't really been able to drink it since. He broke me, as he did with you by all accounts. Holly also revealed her and Phil stole hand soap from the restaurant too. They was at. She explained, you know sometimes restaurants have hand soap you can buy? We woke up the next morning and he went to me. I appear to have a bottle of hand soap from the... Holly Willoughby, 37, held 2 national television awards in front of her assets as Ant and Dec bent down to kiss them. The This Morning presenter and TV duo, 42, pouted to the camera for the cheeky backstage picture. Holly uploaded the photo with the caption, "Well, this was a few years ago now. Remember this at and Dec official at Idvthis Morning and at Celebjosi official are nominated for a #ta. If you want to vote then thank you and here's how X." Holly's upload received a massive comments from many of her 3.8 million fans. One user cheekily penned, "They are a great pair and Ant and Dec." Another commented, "Gong's worth a kiss." A third wrote, "You 3 are so funny and cool XX." It comes after Holly more recently uploaded a group picture of herself with the TV duo, but fans were distracted by Ant's rude gesture. Ant put his 2 fingers up to the camera as he stood alongside Holly, Dec, Philip Schofield and Peter Jones. Holly shared the picture with the caption, "Well, that was a beautiful night. Love you boys." Ant is swearing at Dan Baldwin, Holly's husband, because he prefers Dec. Sick. Many of Holly's fans commented on the snap, with some pointing out that Ant and Dec were stood the wrong way around. One user penned, "No way, why are they the wrong way round?" A second added, "Ant and Dec are stood the wrong way." Another user commented, "Oh yes, what a lineup." Holly also posted a picture of Ant and Dec ahead of the I'm a Celebrity. Get Me Out of Here series last year. To mark their comeback, the duo were captured pointing at 2 clocks, one with the London time and the other with the time in Australia. She commented, "When you just can't wait to see these 2 back on the telly. See you in 10 minutes at and Dec official at ITV #IGMU. Sick. This Morning airs on weekdays on ITV from 10:30 a.m. Officers identified a woman seen climbing over the vehicle in London's Borough Market, but are trying to trace the men also seen jumping and dancing on it. In more video footage, one fan was seen jumping through a bus shelter and falling to the ground in Clapham, southwest London, while others in Birmingham stood on top of buses and cars. Fans also caused mayhem inside Swedish furniture store IKEA in Stratford, East London. Forces across England were inundated with 999 calls after the game on Saturday. Officers identified a woman seen climbing over the vehicle in London's Borough Market, but are trying to trace the men also seen jumping and dancing on it. In more video footage, one fan was seen jumping through a bus shelter and falling to the ground in Clapham, southwest London, while others in Birmingham stood on top of buses and cars. Fans also caused mayhem inside Swedish furniture store IKEA in Stratford, East London. Forces across England were inundated with 999 calls after the game on Saturday. They recorded 387 incidents from mostly alcohol-related disorder. West Midlands dealt with its highest ever number in 24 hours -3,276 calls. Essex Police also had its busiest 24 hours this year with 1,860 incidents, while West Yorkshire dealt with 2,307 emergency calls. Humberside and Northamptonshire Police each had the highest number of calls since New Year's Eve. London Ambulance Service also dealt with 6,990 calls. The National Police Chiefs Council said there were 1,086 football-related incidents since the World Cup began, with 226 to do with domestic abuse and 230 arrests. Deputy Chief Constable Mark Roberts said, "There is a rise in demand for water due to the scorching weather in the UK has resulted in a hosepipe ban being put in place by some utility firms." Southern Water urged customers to reduce their water across the southeast of England in order to prevent restrictions being implemented. However, a spokesman said there are no drought restrictions as the company is currently supplying an extra 87 million litres of water a day across the region. Ben Earl, water efficiency manager at Southern Water, warned people should not shower for more than 4 minutes. He said, "Water is a precious resource, and it's important that we all do what we can to reduce wastage, come rain or shine." Our customers are already among the most water efficient in the country, but there are simple things you can do to reduce waste and cut your water bill. In the heat wave, people should be neighborly, preserve supplies by using water butts to water plants. Brown lawns recover quickly. Simple measures such as turning off taps when you're brushing your teeth, swapping a bath for a 4-minute shower, and watering your garden with harvested rain from a water butt can make a huge difference to water supply levels. It's also important during the hot weather we're experiencing to stay healthy and hydrated. Keep your reusable bottle topped up, and placing a jug of tap water in the fridge for a chilled supply is another simple to stay refreshed and water efficient. Which areas are affected? There is no countrywide hosepipe ban at the moment, but a ban was activated in Northern Ireland on Friday, June 29, at 6 p.m. United Utilities have issued a temporary hosepipe ban in the northwest of England from August 5 in order to safeguard essential supplies. Water levels are said to be low in this region, and there are fears supplies could be affected further as hot weather has been forecast for the rest of July. Martin Padley, from said the ban comes during what is believed to be the longest heatwave since 1976. He said, "Despite some recent rainfall, reservoir levels are still lower than we would expect at this time of year, and with forecasters predicting a return to hot dry weather for the rest of July, we will need to impose some temporary restrictions on customers. We are enormously grateful to customers for having helped reduce the demand on our network over the last couple of weeks, but unless we get a period of sustained rainfall before August 5, these restrictions will help us safeguard essential water supplies for longer." However, Carlisle and North Eden Valley will not be included in the ban in northwest England. These two areas receive water from local water resources and not the network which serves the rest of the region. The firm added they have not been as badly affected by the lack of rainfall. Severn Trent Water in the Midlands and United Utilities in the Northwest also asked people not to use hosepipes and sprinklers on June 30. Affinity Water added, "We usually supply on average 900 million litres of water each day to our 3.6 million customers, and we have had to significantly increase the amount we put into production to meet this demand. Our current average during this time is 1,200 million litres of water per day." Although recent rainfall has been below average, the wet start to spring helped groundwater recover to near normal levels. It is unlikely that restrictions will be needed this year. Here are ways to help save water this summer. Fix leaks on toilets, which can waste up to 400 liters per day. Fixing leaks can often be quick and cheap to repair. Turn off the tap while brushing your teeth, and save over 6,500 liters of water a year, and encourage others in your household to do the same. Keep a jug of water in the fridge to provide cool water rather than running the tap. United Utilities said a temporary ban affecting 7 million people would be enforced from August 5. But GMB, the Union for the Water Industry, said the latest leakage figures for the company shows 439,200,000 liters of treated water are wasted each day while their customers face restrictions on usage. Stuart Fegan, GMB national officer, said, "Millions of people in the Northwest are facing a hosepipe ban, while United Utilities lets more than 175 Olympic-sized swimming pools worth of water go down the plug hole every single day. It's a disgrace that customers face a £1,000 fine as private water fat cats trouser millions, all the while failing to invest to tackle leakages. While we have had hot weather, the UK uses less than 2% of the water that falls from the sky each year and which flows into the sea. Whatever the weather, we need to take back the tap and ensure our water services are run in the interests of the public once more and not just the few at the top." Ofwat, the water industry regulator, has said privatized water firms in England typically lose between 20% and 22% of supply due to leakage. Kat Hobbs, director of We Own It, an organization which campaigns for public ownership of utilities, said, "United Utilities is allowing an irresponsible level of leakage -20 to 25%. A hosepipe ban might be avoided if that water wasn't being wasted. We need to bring water into public ownership now so investment can go straight into infrastructure instead of lining shareholder pockets." In Paris, water is now in public ownership and leakage levels have been cut to 10%. Professor David Hall, a global expert on the water industry at the University of Greenwich, said privatized water firms have an incentive not to fix too many leaks as it begins to bite into profits and become uneconomic for them. He said, "They are making big profits, virtually all of it taken out of the industry in dividends, not reinvesting anything and racking up debt. They can't recoup the cost of making reductions in leakage levels except by reducing profits. That's not what they want to do." The temporary use ban will apply to domestic customers who get their water supply from United Utilities, with the exception of customers in Carlisle and the North Eden Valley, where supplies remain at reasonable levels. Martin Padley, United Utilities Water Services Director, said, "Despite some recent rainfall, reservoir levels are still lower than we would expect at this time of year and, with forecasters predicting a return to hot dry weather for the rest of July, we are now at a point where we will need to impose some temporary restrictions on customers. It is not a decision we have taken lightly and we are enormously grateful to customers for having helped reduce the demand on our network over the last couple of weeks. But unless we get a period of sustained rainfall before August 5, these restrictions will help us safeguard essential water supplies for longer." GMB has criticized United Utilities for paying CEO Steve Mogford £2.3 million in salary, bonuses, pensions and other benefits last year. The union also pointed to a study from the National Audit Office which showed water bills had increased by 40% above inflation since the water industry was privatized by Margaret Thatcher's government in 1989. The latest hosepipe ban, to be implemented from August 5, will affect 7 million people in the northwest of England. A fine of up to £1,000 could be imposed for anyone who flouts the ban. However, this latest ban comes as the news of leaky water pipes result in 20 to 22% of water loss, which could be resolved by privatized water companies. This is the second hosepipe ban of the summer after Northern Ireland had restrictions imposed earlier this month as temperatures soared. If your water is supplied by United Utilities, the ban will affect you. However, the company has said that Carlisle District and the northeastern corner of Eden District will be exempt as they source water locally. A spokesman said the ban was intended to safeguard essential supplies. Reservoir levels are said to have dropped notably, and the hot weather was forecast to continue. Earlier this month, announced it was moving water from Wales to boost depleted supplies across northwest England. A spokesman, Martin Padley, said this temporary ban comes during what is thought to be the longest heave since 1976. Mr. Padley said, despite some recent rainfall, reservoir levels are still lower than we would expect at this time of year, and, with forecasters predicting a return to hot dry weather for the rest of July, we will need to impose some temporary restrictions on customers. We are enormously grateful to customers for having helped reduce the demand on our network over the last couple of weeks, but unless we get a period of sustained rainfall before the 5th of August, these restrictions will help us safeguard essential water supplies for longer. Hosepipes or sprinkles for watering private gardens or washing cars are banned. You can water your garden with a watering can and wash your car with a bucket and sponge. According to a hosepipe uses 540 liters an hour, as much as an average family of 4 would use in one day, while a sprinkler left running overnight uses as much water as a family of 4 would use in 1 week. Customers are also warned to be careful with water use in their daily lives. Small efforts such as turning the tap off when you brush your teeth and not overfilling the kettle can help. Other water companies across England said they had adequate reservoir supplies and bans would not be imposed at this stage. However, customers across the UK are being urged to be water-wise while the heatwave rolls on. This ban has raised questions as to why the water companies aren't able to fix the leaks, resulting in up to 22% of water loss, when the hosepipe ban is thought to save a mere 10% at the most. According to trade union GMB, bosses across the 9 privatized water firms in England raked in £58 million in pay and benefits over the past 5 years. Professor David Hall from the University of Greenwich, an expert on the water industry, said privatized water firms are incentivized not to focus on fixing the leaks as the cost of the work would chip away at profits. Professor Hall said, they can't recoup the cost of making reductions in leakage levels except by reducing profits. That's not what they want to do. If the leakage levels were not so high, the daily 7 million people will be affected in the Northwest when the ban comes into force on August 5 amid falling reservoir levels. This is the second hosepipe ban this summer after Northern Ireland suffered restrictions earlier this month. A fine of up to £1,000 may be imposed for anyone who doesn't comply with regulations. While the ban is only temporary, It is prompting everyone to consider how they use water and where it can be saved. Apart from United Utilities, the water company servicing the Northwest, all other water companies in England said they have adequate supplies and don't intend to impose bans. But this doesn't mean water should be taken for granted. Andrew Tucker, water efficiency manager at Thames Water, told Express.co.uk, water is a precious resource and, with a growing population and impact of climate change, there will continue to be pressure on the supplies in London and across our region. We've really ramped up our water-saving efforts to meet the record demand levels during the ongoing heatwave. Mr. Tucker added, "That's why we're also asking our customers to care for water as much as possible and see if there are any simple changes they can make to help ensure there is enough to go around and prevent the need for restrictions later in the year." Thames Water suggests a few easy tips to save water around the house, including, alarmingly, says a housepipe uses 540 liters an hour, as much as an average family of 4 would use in one day, while a sprinkler left running overnight uses as much water as a family of 4 would use in 1 week. Implementation of a housepipe ban can reduce water usage by 5–10%, according to research by United Kingdom Water Industry Research, which would amount to more than 100 million liters per day in the Northwest. Residents are frustrated, however, that up to 22% of water could be saved if water companies fixed leaky pipes. According to trade union GMB, bosses across the 9 privatised water firms in England raked in £58 million in pay and benefits over the past 5 years. Professor David Hall from the University of Greenwich, an expert on the water industry, said privatized water firms are incentivized not to focus on fixing the leaks as the cost of the work would chip away at profits. He added, "They can't recoup the cost of making reductions in leakage levels except by reducing profits. That's not what they want to do." Stuart White, spokesman for Thames Water, disputes this. He said, "We're fixing a record 1,000 leaks a week, and we've invested around." The mercury has reached highs of 30 C in some parts of the UK over the past few weeks, in the longest heatwave in Britain for 42 years. A lack of rain, combined with hot temperatures, have caused reservoirs to become depleted, pavements to crack and grass to yellow. With the hot weather, we use more and more water, putting increased pressure on water companies. As the heatwave is forecast for the rest of July, some water companies have had to take action. Currently, a hosepipe ban is in place in Northern Ireland despite heavy rainfall on July 15. With the hot weather expected to continue, NI Water has stated the ban will still be enforced. Northern Ireland has had the ban in place since Friday, June 29, with NI Water's CEO Sarah Venning saying, "The hosepipe ban is in place to protect the public against the increased threat of supply interruptions. During this time, it is essential that we all work together to reduce the unprecedented levels of demand on our network." Northwestern Water Company United Utilities has also decided to implement a ban in the coming days. However, some areas remain exempt. Carlisle and North Eden Valley are exempt from the hosepipe ban, as they have enough supplies. The 2 areas have their own water supply, from local water sources, so aren't a part of the network that feeds the Northwest. Other water companies in the country have said they have no plans to implement bans as their supply is sufficient. The United Utilities ban will affect 7 million people, as reservoir levels run low following the spate of hot weather. Announced a temporary ban will be enforced from August 5. Martin Padley, from has said that with a hot weather forecast for the rest of July, a hosepipe ban is necessary. He said, despite some recent rainfall, reservoir levels are still lower than we would expect at this time of year, and, with forecasters predicting a return to hot dry weather for the rest of July, we will need to impose some temporary restrictions on customers. We are enormously grateful to customers for having helped reduce the demand on our network over the last couple of weeks, but unless we get a period of sustained rainfall before August, these restrictions will help us safeguard essential water supplies for longer. During a temporary ban, hosepipes or sprinklers for use in private gardens or washing private cars are banned. According to she wrote, Morning Monday. Today's look on @Thigh's morning dress by @The 10 Store Shoes @Office Shoes #style. Fans praised her frugal chic, and the dress sold out in hours. One Twitter user wrote, "Love your dress, Holly, you always look stunning, love your style." Another said, "Should one person ever be allowed to look so cute? Gorgeous Miss W. There was a morning. Love the dress and shoes. And I love your dress, Holly, you always look so stunning, I love your style." Co-presenter Philip Schofield, 56, did not reveal the source of his white linen button-down shirt, black jeans and black suede shoes. Holly, who has children Harry, 9, Belle, 7, and Chester, 3, by her TV producer husband Dan Baldwin, regularly sells out clothing that she tweets about on the show. But she modestly gives credit to her brilliant team of stylists. "If I was left to my own devices, I don't know when I would find the time to go and pick different clothes. I like fashion, but I'm not in love with fashion," she said. "I like clothes that feel good, look nice and are comfortable. I think, myself, I would be quite guilty about wearing the same thing all the time. I would find something that works and stick with it." Holly's chief stylist Angie Smith is renowned for pulling outfits that mix up high street and designer brands. The TV presenter is a fan of high street fashion and is regularly spotted shopping in stores such as H&M, New Look and M&S. The pair document Holly's daily looks, and viewers always clamor to copy what she's wearing. Earlier this year, the presenter announced she is launching her own lifestyle brand Truly this autumn. The range will include home, fashion, baby, wellness, living and travel. Expect to see some of her signature pieces and trends such as pencil skirts, tea dresses, polka dots and some Pinterest-worthy homeware. Prince Louis' royal christening went off without a hitch, from the carefully selected godparents to Prince George and Princess Charlotte's impeccable manners. And back in the spotlight after giving birth 3 months ago was royal mom of 3, Kate Middleton, who was glowing as her baby son snoozed in her arms. She has blossomed and looked more confident, beaming with happiness, notes royal biographer Ingrid Seward of Majesty magazine. Kate is hugely dutiful, but she is quite strong and leading the way behind the scenes, Seward adds. She is like her mom, Carol Middleton, in that sense. That includes setting the intimate tone of the christening despite the grandeur of the surroundings. Read more about Prince Louis' royal christening in this week's issue of People, on newsstands Friday. "I'm sure this is all Catherine's influence," says a royal source. "I'm sure she is leading on building all the family relations. The royal mum recently opened up about her simple family life with William and their 3 children. Spending quality time together is such an important aspect of family life, and for me, as a mother, it is the simple family moments like playing outside together that I cherish, Kate wrote in a heartwarming letter to mark Children's Hospice Week, just 1 month after Louis' birth. She's also known to regularly escape the bustle of London to enjoy the clean air and vibrant woods near her parents' home in Bucklebury with George and Charlotte, so that the royal children can roam free. The family also makes full use of their country home in Anmer Hall, which is set within the even greater rural expanse of the Queen's Center. Think chic trench coats are reserved for chilly seasons? Meghan Markle would beg to differ. The newlywed proved the classic jackets shouldn't be reserved for England's cold winters when she wore a sleeveless trench dress from up-and-coming Canadian label Nani for her tour of the London exhibition in honour of the 100th anniversary of Nelson Mandela's birth with Prince Harry on Tuesday. The collared garment fell just below her knees but bared her shoulders, a trend Meghan just can't get enough, as evidenced by her numerous sleeveless and boat-neck numbers. The $825 Nani dress, from the brand's Spring/Summer 2018 collection, is actually a royal rewear from Meghan's own closet. She purchased it from the Calgary-based designer while living in Toronto, just before she moved to London in the fall of 2017. Meghan has previously shown her love for the flattering jacket in neutral tones, including an olive green one from Bobbington by Aritzia back in April at the UK team trials for the 2018 Invictus Games. She's also chosen similar wrap coats for some major moments, including her engagement photo call in Kensington Palace's sunken garden with Harry. Her white coat byline, the label that fell to the knee, simultaneously checked the boxes for both modern and timeless. Meghan made her debut at the royals' Christmas walk to church rocking a belted tan coat to keep out the chill, and also opted for the cozy style during her visit the Represent radio station in Brixton back in January. Perhaps Meghan, as a new dad of 3, Prince William has his hands full at home at Kensington Palace, and he wouldn't have it any other way. William is a very good father, a family friend tells People, as his own father has been. Charles has been a very good father to those boys, and they're very, very fond of him. As their family grows, William and his wife, Kate Middleton, have shown a united front, and they have the support of their family behind them, as evident by everyone who gathered to celebrate Prince Louis' royal christening on Monday. Of course, the absence of William's mother, Princess Diana, continues to be felt even 21 years after her death at age 36. William can do all the things that he thinks are important for family life and make sure that his children have that loving, caring, fun home that his mother was trying to create, says a royal source. Growing up with a hands-on mother like Diana has shaped his own parenting style. During royal outings with Prince George and Princess Charlotte, he always holds their hands and gets down on their level to explain their surroundings to them during high-profile events. A move Grandma Queen Elizabeth has even scolded him for. William said he talks to his children about the grandmother they never go to meet, and he and Kate have filled their home with photos of her. The mother of 2 donned the shirt with her husband's name and number on as she took her seat in the crowd ahead of kickoff. The brunette beauty added dark aviator sunglasses and wore her chocolate locks in sleek, loose waves which cascaded over her shoulders. She was pictured beaming before the World Cup final got off to an exciting start, leaving France leading 2-1 at halftime. Marine is currently in Russia cheering Loris on as he and his team make their final attempt to win the tournament for the first time since 1998. She enjoyed a relaxing day at the hotel pool with her young family yesterday, keeping her 85,000 Instagram followers updated with snaps on her story. One shot showed two children swimming, with Marine tagging the location as Moscow. A second upload saw kids splashing about and playing with a ball in the water in a fun boomerang clip. Marine is expected to take her seats in the stands at the Luzhniki Stadium later today when her Tottenham Hotspur star husband joins the lineup to face Croatia. She previously jetted out to Russia to cheer him on for their semi-final match against Belgium. The businesswoman kept her fans updated as she arrived St. Petersburg before the game and was snapped looking cool but casual in tight-fitting jeans and a black leather biker jacket. Loris and Marine, who has degrees in both law and human resources, tied the knot in 2012. They met back 10 years earlier and welcomed their first daughter Anna Rose after their wedding. Their second daughter Juliana was born in 2014, shortly before he led France to the quarter-finals of the World Cup 2014. Marine is also the owner of a high-end children's clothing brand called Manege & Suker. Les Bleus are hotly tipped to emerge victorious against Croatia today, with Loris adamant the team will not make the same mistakes they did at 2016 Euro. He confessed France got carried away with euphoria after defeating world champions Germany 2 years ago, only to lose in the final against Portugal. "I don't think the same thing will happen again," he insisted at a press conference ahead of the final. "The Euros was something new for so many players. I don't think we celebrated the same way after Belgium," he added. "We just want to give the best opportunity to win this final." The majority of players in the squad were but at the Euros, but for players who were, the final was difficult to digest. "I don't know if we were aware we'd have the possibility of a second final, but we owe it to ourselves to grab this opportunity," Loris said. Today marks Croatia's first ever World Cup final, and manager Zlatko Dalik's men are sure to put up a fight against footballing giants France. France vs. America's Got Talent took a dramatic turn on Tuesday night as a trapeze trick nearly turned deadly while the cameras rolled. Mary and Theis, a husband and wife trapeze team, initially wowed the judges as they performed gravity-defying tricks high above the stage, which was on fire throughout their act. Their impressive feats were made even more daring as Theis is legally blind in his right eye due to a progressive eye disease. On their final big trick, Theis blindfolded himself as he hung upside down and prepared to catch his wife. Mary then fell backwards so Theis could catch her by her ankles, but she slipped through his grip, falling heavily to the floor. The audience and judges screamed as she plunged to the ground. More horrifying was that her mother and 2-year-old son, Jax, were watching from the audience and, fearing the worst, the visibly distressed grandmother grabbed the little boy close before covering her face. Fortunately, Mary landed on a heavy safety mat, ensuring her fall was painful but not as horrific as it appeared. After a few agonizing seconds, Mary stood up and revealed to the crowd she was not seriously injured. As her husband was brought down to earth, he embraced her and passionately kissed her. While shaken, the duo was determined to try the catch again, but the judges would have none of it. "No, it's fine," Mel B yelled. It's fine. While actor Ken Jeong, who was guest hosting Tuesday, made it clear that would not be necessary. Related article: America's Got Talent winner Neely Boyd was found dead by his mother. Report: This is not America's Got Perfection, it's America's Got Talent. Nobody can do this, he consoled the couple. Echoing his statements, Simon Cowell said everyone makes mistakes on the AG stage, albeit this could have had more serious consequences than just being off-key, as Mary almost broke her neck. You almost got hurt very badly and your first thought was, let me do that again. Only on America's Got Talent does that happen, Howie Mandel told Mary, who was in tears. Heidi Klum praised their passion before Cowell told them that, despite the Scylla star said, I can't believe somebody is going to have me. It is incredible. My personal life is in a great place as I have got a gorgeous fella. Telling how she finally found her Mr. Right after a series of failed relationships, she said, we met before through friends. We went on a date and clicked straight away. Do you know what? When people used to say to me, when you know, I used to think, oh shut up. No way. And then you do. We are inseparable. Sheridan hit the headlines last year for pulling out of a string of performances of the musical Funny Girl. The Lincolnshire actress admitted she was falling apart following the death of her father, country and western singer Colin Smith, 80, from cancer in 2016. She previously said her life spiraled out of control as she self-medicated to deal with her grief. But she eventually found a great doctor and said, where I am right now is the happiest I have felt. Sheridan can currently be seen playing a schizophrenic mother in comedy film The More You Ignore Me, written by Joe Brand. Next up is BBC drama Care, written by Jimmy McGovern, alongside Sheridan's one-time Gavin and Stacey co-star Alison Steadman. And she is recording her first album of original songs after her debut album of show tunes, Sheridan, went down a storm with fans. She said, I am loving it. It is a real great way of getting your thoughts out and your stresses out. I find it really relaxing playing my guitar and chilling. It's a bit like therapy. Sheridan said of her roller coaster lifestyle, I would not change it for. She found out about the service at her local dancing club and has been receiving a call each Wednesday lunchtime for the past 3 years. Like hundreds of thousands of older people, widowed former civil servant Astrid, 90, from Enfield, North London, has struggled with loneliness and craves interaction. Her regular calls from the Silver Line have become a lifeline. Astrid, who has lived alone for 30 years, said, although I have always gone out and done things, a lot of it has come to an end. I am not as agile as I would like and I have had a few falls, so it's not easy to get out. I do get lonely, especially in the evenings when there is no one to share the TV with or talk to. The Silver Line has helped me because it's an extra thing in my life. I look forward to Wednesdays when I sit down, have a coffee and wait for the phone to ring. It's exciting. David, her volunteer caller, rings to talk about what I have been doing and what he has been up to. I know about this family and he knows about my family. I feel like I have built up a relationship with him. We spend about half an hour on the phone. There are so many people worse off than me and I didn't think I would ever rely on a service like this, but it's not easy for some people to get out and about. The Silver Line has become part of my life. Although I have got family, they are not next door or around the corner. The 57-year-old has dedicated his golfing achievement to his heart donor, cyclist Ben Pedley, 26, from Reading, who died 2 days after a crash with a pedestrian. Mike, from Glasgow, has been playing golf since he was 12, but only recently took it up again after he was forced to quit in 2010 because of health problems. He was critically ill at Golden Jubilee National Hospital in Clydebank in March 2017 when doctors said they had found a suitable donor heart at the 11th hour. The donor was Ben, who was studying for a master's degree in chemistry at Reading University and who had renewed his organ donor registration just months before his death. Ben's organs have helped to save the lives of 4 other people across Britain, with his liver being given to a toddler. Mike said, "When the surgeon said my chest was fine, I went out and got new golf equipment. I was determined to get back and I have. It's a great feeling. I dedicated my hole-in-one to my organ donor Ben. If I hadn't had the heart surgery, I wouldn't have been on the course." Mike had been hospitalized for about 10 months with advanced heart failure before his transplant. He went into the Golden Jubilee in July 2016 and, after a first operation had to be cancelled, finally underwent surgery 299 days later. Mike, who was also father to Craig, 19, and Sean, 31, said, "My wait for a transplant was the longest in the Jubilee's history." He said, "The surgeons can only tell you so much about the donor. But they told me the heart was that of 26-year-old man who was very fit and I probably couldn't be getting one much better. I've been in the motor trade for years, and the best way I can describe the feeling was like driving an old Ford Fiesta for years, then waking up with a Ferrari engine in it." Describing his golfing feat, he said, "My son Michael played a 5-iron and it went right in the hole during last Tuesday's medal match. Then on Sunday, I hit my hole-in-one. That's my son's first hole-in-one and my 4th, but my first since my transplant." Mike has been in contact with Ben's family and is planning to meet them for the first time next month. Simon Byrne, suspended as Cheshire Chief Constable last year, is accused of being volatile and a bully. It is claimed he displayed a short temper and engaged in angry outbursts and aggressive attacks upon subordinate staff. Former Metropolitan Police Officer Mr. Byrne denies any wrongdoing. He was asked by John Beggs QC, for Cheshire's Police and Crime Commissioner, why he used a slide about Darth Vader in a PowerPoint presentation. Mr. Byrne said he knew he had the Star Wars villain's nickname. He said, "I tried to be open and acknowledge it, and confront it." Mr. Beggs said, "People describe you as being very angry." Mr. Byrne replied, "I don't recognize that." The misconduct hearing had been told of a number of incidents involving Mr. Byrne's alleged misbehavior. In one he gave officers photos of Dad's Army characters after he said the force's response to an incident was poor. He said, "This was about a number of issues where I felt we let the public down." He told the panel that it was never my intention to cause. Long before her family became household names, Kim Kardashian dated a member of one of America's most famous families. When she was a young teen, Kardashian dated Michael Jackson's nephew T.J. Jackson. The pair was together for more than a year, and Kardashian's family approved of their relationship. One of the people who liked Jackson, Kardashian's nanny, Pam Behan, who watched the Kardashian kids for 5 years. Behan recalls the relationship in a new interview on the Reels channel's Scandal Made Me Famous. "I really liked TJ," she tells the show. "He was kind of on the quiet, shy side, always very nice and polite. A good-looking kid, and as far as I could ever see, he treated Kim with great respect." According to Behan, Kardashian and Jackson even visited his uncle's estate more than once. "I know that she went to the Neverland Ranch with him a time or two," she recalls. Kardashian has told people about those visits. "That was the most magical place on earth," she shared with People in 2009. "I had my birthday at Neverland Ranch. Who else can say that? When you drove up there were baby elephants and chimpanzees in overalls, and there was all the rides," Kardashian recalled. "It was everything you can possibly imagine. The memories I have from that place will last for the rest of my life." Related, Kim Kardashian's childhood nanny reveals, perfectionist Kris Jenner wasn't easy to work for, but despite the good relationship between Kardashian and Jackson, things didn't work out mostly because they were both so young. Still, Behan thought they might have had a future. "I honestly thought that they'd get married," she recalls. "I really did." Scandal Made Me Famous combines reenactments, exclusive interviews, and never-before-seen photos and video to tell the story of infamous crimes. Meghan King Edmonds knows how to put together a gorgeous space. Weeks after welcoming twin sons Hart King and Hayes King on June 5, the 33-year-old Real Housewives of Orange County alum shared a photo gallery on her Instagram account showing off the boys' neutral room, filled with calming colors and warm wood furnishings and accents. "Whenever I've decorated a nursery, the cribs have been the hardest decision for me." King Edmonds captioned the gallery, which also features husband Jim Edmonds and their 19-month-old daughter, Aspen. "I chose to go with a neutral theme for the boys' room. Jimmy and I are in the process of building a house, so I wanted to build the nursery using as many items as we already had on hand," King Edmonds writes in a blog post titled Nursery 101. "Want all the latest pregnancy and birth announcements, plus celebrity mom blogs? Click here to get those and more in the People Babies newsletter." Related, exactly what to buy from Khloe Kardashian's daughter True's nursery and how to get the look for less. The mother of three also explains how she purchased both her daughter and her son's cribs first, to set the stage for the rest of the decor. She bought one of Aspen's cribs as well as the boys' matching Artisan Collection cribs, $1,095, from Newport Cottages. "I love that everything is made from solid wood, handcrafted in the USA and made to order," she writes. "It just makes it feel a bit more special and personal for my perfect little bundles of joy. And the sienna oak finish worked with some items I already own and slides perfectly into the neutral decor I was trying to achieve," Kind Edmonds continues, adding that she chose a dresser, $1,145, from the same line. Once this was decided, the rest could come easily. Related video, Meghan King Edmonds shares adorable close-up of her newborn twins. "Fresh to the world. I used a Dabe from Aspen's room and just changed out the pillows. As Aspen gets older, she's using her room as more of a play space, so moving the Dabe out to make room was a no-brainer. I was really proud of this large-scale repurposing," says the star. "I stuck the Dabe in between the cribs to break up the space under the window while giving us a functional area to sit. Other items throughout the room include crib sheets by Carousel Designs, $34, a Star Cloud Mobile by Baby Jives Co., $70, assorted succulents, $15, a Hatch Baby sound machine, $60, and a slide. I must say I'm uber pleased with the traditional, simple, bright and cheery aesthetic I achieved, all from getting inspiration from the finish on my cribs. King Edmonds says in her blog. Related, Brianne Davis reveals the inspiration behind Son's nursery. We want to teach him compassion. She also shifted some rooms around, noting, the twins have taken over the couple's master bedroom. We turned a screened-in porch on the first floor into our master closet. We added a back stairwell to go up to our master bedroom, and we knocked out a door from the master bedroom to what we turned into our master retreat/TV room, and our master bathroom is off the retreat, King Edmonds explains. So we moved our furniture out of the retreat, turned it into our master bedroom, handed over the former master bedroom to the twins, and added a curtain where the knocked-out door between the two rooms once belonged, adds the star, who is also stepmom to Edmonds' 4 children from previous marriages. Says King Edmonds, so to recap, we have a 4-bedroom house with 5 kids and 3 adults. As Queen Elizabeth begins her summer break at her Scottish estate, Balmoral, she'll likely be joined by her husband of 70 years, Prince Philip, for the extended holiday. Although Philip retired from public life last summer, and he's been spending most of his time this season at Wood Farm, on the Queen's Sandringham estate in Norfolk, England, he's still had a busy summer. The 97-year-old became a godfather to the child of Thomas and Alexandra Hooper, who is the great-granddaughter of Philip's uncle, the late Lord Mountbatten. While the Queen was hosting President Donald Trump at Windsor Castle last week, Philip appeared for the baby's christening at Romsey Abbey in Romsey, Hampshire. Philip took a helicopter, paid for out of his own money, for the 190-mile journey southwest from Sandringham to Romsey. He and Queen Elizabeth both missed the royal christening of their great-grandson Prince Louis earlier this month. The decision that the couple would not be attending the event was mutually agreed between the 92-year-old monarch, Prince William and Kate Middleton some time ago, a palace source told People. Prince Philip joined the rest of the royal family in May for his grandson Prince Harry's wedding to Meghan Markle. His attendance was in question even in the days before the ceremony, as he was recuperating from hip replacement surgery, which took place on April 4. He had been recovering at Windsor Castle, just a short walk away from St. George's Chapel, where Harry and Meghan tied the knot. Although Philip sat out royal events such as Trooping the Colour, the official celebration of the Queen's birthday, and the Royal Ascot, he accompanied the Queen to 2 polo matches in June. A week after they attended Cartier International Day, the duo enjoyed a day of polo at the Eddie Stocco had been married to wife Jean for 5 months when the gold band with their names engraved on it disappeared in March 1966. The retired teacher said, "I was absolutely devastated. I searched everywhere and spent the next few weeks quartering the field like a barn owl, desperately looking for that ring, but with no luck. I have never had a replacement. Every time a big anniversary came around, Jean would offer to buy a new one, but the original is absolutely irreplaceable." Eddie, 73, and 75-year-old Jean, who have 3 children and 4 grandchildren, had given up hope of finding the band, which is identical to Jean's. So Eddie was stunned when his brother Billy, 81, phoned to say it had been discovered on the same field at Shotley Bridge Cricket Club near the couple's home in Consett, County Durham. "I could not believe it was still there after all the time," he said. "When we got it back and I showed it to Jean, she broke down in tears of joy." Although the wedding ring no longer fits his ring finger, Eddie now wears it on his little. A hosepipe ban, to be implemented from August 5, will affect 7 million people in northwest England. The affected water company United Utilities has been the worst struck by the heatwave, reporting a notable drop in reservoir levels and implementing the hosepipe ban. Hosepipe bans can save between 5 to 10% of water usage per day, as hosepipes use an alarming 540 liters of water an hour. However, questions have been raised over water leakages which amount to up to 22% of water loss, which could be resolved by the UK's privatised water companies. Welsh Water, which provides water for most of Wales, Herefordshire and parts of Deeside, has not imposed any bans for customers at this stage. However, the water company is encouraging its 3 million customers to use water wisely. Reservoir levels have dropped to lower levels than usual, and even if rain comes soon, the ground will be too parched for rainwater to penetrate and restore reservoir levels quickly. The company ensures customers that these lower levels of supplies are to be expected and they have everything under control. Welsh Water reports they have been safeguarding supplies for the past 2 months in anticipation of the hottest June in Wales since records began in 1910. Managing Director of Water Services Ian Christie said, "Over the last few months, we have taken and will continue to take all the necessary actions to ensure there is enough water in our network during this very dry period. We've done a lot of groundwork in the background to prepare for this weather and still doing everything we can to safeguard supplies. This includes finding and fixing leaks and putting more water in the network every day than ever before." The company is also urging customers to report any leaks they spot. Mr. Christie said, "It's really important that our customers continue to work with us during this period. If they spot a leak, please let us know." We're also asking them to think about how much water they are using. We want everyone to stay safe and drink water while it's hot, but we're reminding everyone of the need to use water wisely and efficiently. Of the 20 privatised water providers across the UK, Welsh Water has the 4th worst leakage rate, losing between 100 and 150 litres per property per day according to a Guardian infographic. If you spot. In an extraordinary news conference at Chequers, the US President apologized to the Prime Minister for suggesting her Brexit plans could kill hopes of a trade agreement between the two countries. He also lavished praise on his host, hailing her as an incredible woman and a tough negotiator who will stand up to Brussels to get the best for Britain. "I think she's a terrific woman. I think she's doing a terrific job. And that Brexit is a very tough situation, that's a tough deal," he said, adding, "She's going to do the best." America was ready to agree a deal that could quadruple trade between the US and the UK after Brexit, he declared. Mrs. May promised there would be no limit on Britain's opportunities for new trade deals all around the world under her Brexit plan and welcomed President Trump's enthusiasm to talk business. "No two countries do more together than ours to keep their peoples safe and prosperous. And we want to deepen that cooperation even further to meet the shared challenges we face, now and in the years ahead," the Prime Minister said. "We will do a trade deal with them and with others around the rest of the world," she added. Mr. Trump and the Prime Minister staged an astonishing show of diplomatic warmth just hours after his incendiary remarks cast doubt on the possibility of a UK-US trade deal after Brexit next year. In an interview conducted in Brussels earlier this week but published yesterday, the President suggested Mrs. May's plans for a common rulebook with the EU to cover trade in goods would wreck chances of a trade deal with the US. He also appeared to criticize her approach to the Brexit negotiations as too soft and said that his friend Boris Johnson, who quit as Foreign Secretary this week in protest at her EU blueprint, would make a great Prime Minister. But after intensive talks over a working lunch at the Prime Minister's official country residence on the second day of his first presidential visit to Britain, the pair declared that the special relationship between the UK and the US was stronger and closer than ever. "The relationship between our two countries is indispensable to the cause of liberty, justice and peace," Mr. Trump declared at the news conference held in blazing sunshine in the sprawling grounds of Chequers. Mr. Trump said whatever you do is okay with me about the UK's plans for Brexit and insisted, "Just make sure we can trade together." Insisting a trade deal was possible, he said. "The only thing I ask is that she work it out so that we can have very even trade because we do not have a fair deal with the European Union right now on trade." Mr. Trump acknowledged that he had realized the complexity of the Brexit negotiations and their effects on the government's future ability to sign trade deals following the talks yesterday. "The only thing I ask of Theresa is that we make sure we can trade and we don't have any restrictions, because we want to trade with the UK and the UK wants to trade with us," he said. "We are by far their biggest trading partner and we have just a tremendous opportunity to double, triple, quadruple that. So if they go in a slightly different route, and I know they do want independence, it's going to be independence. It's just your definition. If they are going to go in a certain route, I just said that I hope you are going to be able to trade with the United States. I read reports where that won't be possible, but I believe after speaking with the Prime Minister's people and representatives and trade experts it will absolutely be possible." The President revealed that he had apologized to Mrs. over breakfast yesterday morning about the headlines sparked by his remarks in Brussels. He accepted the report of his interview with The Sun had been generally fine while claiming there was an element of fake news in that his praise for the Prime Minister had been underreported. "It's called fake news and we solve a lot of problems with the good old recording instrument," the President said. Mr. Trump said he apologized to Mrs. May over the Sun front page story and she replied, "Don't worry, it's only the press." He said, "She's a total professional because when I saw her this morning I said I want to apologize because I said such good things about you." She said, "Don't worry, it's only the press." I thought that was very professional. Mr. Trump added, "I also said that this incredible woman right here is doing a fantastic job, a great job," he said. "I mean that. And I must say, I have gotten to know Theresa May much better over the last 2 days than I have known her over the last year and a half." The President said he didn't criticize the Prime Minister and insisted he had a lot of respect for her. Asked about the current strength of the special relationship between the UK and US, the President insisted it had reached the highest level of special. He admitted he had previously urged her to take a tougher line with the EU in the Brexit negotiations, but went on to claim she could not walk out of the talks. I did give her a suggestion, I wouldn't say advice, he said. I think she found it maybe too brutal because I could see that. I don't know if you remember what I said. I did give her a certain amount. I gave her a suggestion, not advice. I wouldn't want to give her advice. I'd give her a suggestion. I can fully understand why she thought it was a little bit tough, and maybe someday she will do that. If they don't make the right deal, she might very well do what I suggested that she might want to do. Mrs. May laughed off their differing views of how to deal with the EU, saying, "Lots of people give me advice about dealing with the European Union. My job is actually getting out there and doing it." Looking forward to transatlantic trade talks, the Prime Minister said, "There will be no limit to the possibility of us doing trade deals around the rest of the world once we leave the European Union on the basis of the agreement that was made here at Chequers and that I've put forward to the European Union." Mrs. May will do very well in the Brexit negotiations, Mr. Trump predicted. She's a very tough negotiator. I have been watching her over the last couple of days, he said. She's a tough negotiator. She's a very, very smart and determined person. I can tell you there are a lot of people that are looking up now that are saying, "Gee whiz, she left a lot of people in her wake." She's a very smart, very tough, very capable person, and I would much rather have her as my friend than my enemy, that I can tell you. Pressed on his claims in his Sun interview that immigration had damaged the cultural fabric of Europe, Mr. Trump said, "I think it has been very bad for Europe. I think that what has happened is very tough. It's a very tough situation. I mean, you see the same terror attacks that I do. We see them a lot. I just think it's changing the culture. It's a very negative thing for Europe. I think it's very negative." At the news conference, Mr. Trump did not deny saying that Boris Johnson would be a great prime minister. He said, "He's been very nice to me. He's been saying very good things about me as president. I think he thinks I'm doing a great job. I am doing a great job, I can tell you, just in case you haven't noticed. Boris Johnson, I think, would be a great prime minister." Asked if she felt undermined by Mr. Trump's comments on Brexit and Mr. Johnson. Less than. If GT so 9 greater than less than. And if greater than less than. If GT so 9 greater than normal 0 false n gigabytes x none less than. And if greater than less than. If GT so 9 greater than less than. And if greater than less than. If GT so 10 greater than / style definitions / table. Msnor multiple so style name, table normal. Msod style row band size, 0. Msod style call band size, 0. Mso style no show, yes. Mso style priority, 99. Mso style parent. Mso padding alt, 0 centimeters 5.4 pints, 0 centimeters 5.4 pints. Mso para margin, 0 centimeters. Mso para margin bottom, 0.001 pint. Mso pagination, widow orphan. Font size, 12.0 pints. Font family, Cambria. Mso ASCII font family, Cambria. Mso ASCII theme font, Minor Latin. Mso Hansi font family, Cambria. Msohansi theme font, minor Latin. Less than. And if dash dash greater than less than. Dash start fragment dash greater than. The spinning around singer made her whirlwind romance with the 43-year-old Welshman public when she shared a photo of them kissing on a New York rooftop. And now she has stepped out in London wearing a floaty maxi dress, fedora, and the shiny gold ring. The star was first linked with Paul, creative director at GQ magazine, at her 50th birthday party at London's Chiltern Firehouse in May. A snap of the pair locking lips was shared on social media. Less than. Dash and fragment dash greater than. But wedding bells for the Aussie pop queen would come as a surprise to many. In an interview in April, she said, "I don't think marriage is for me," and revealed that she had a nervous breakdown after splitting from her former fiancé, British actor Joshua Sass, 30, last February. Kylie's other high-profile romances include French actor Olivier Martinez, The Latings frontman Michael Hutchence, rocker Lenny Kravitz, and Neighbours co-star Jason Donovan. She said, "One of my greatest fears now is losing my independence. I am married to National Theatre art director Michael Mayhew, so I don't mean it like that, but it's more due to with the fact I might not physically or mentally be able to work. I would hate not being able to handle my own affairs or take care of people who might need me." However, the Oscar-nominated actress, who admits that like her character Vera, she rarely looks in the mirror, says she is fighting to ensure her fearful thoughts do not get the better of her. "I am one of those people who copes. It's how I have been brought up," she said. Brenda now looks to unlikely sources of inspiration, saying, "Singer Sam Smith used to be a little porker and he looks a picture of health now. I keep seeing pictures of people who were very unfit and are now looking terrific. I have put on a fair bit of weight and my aim in 2018 is to lose a stone. Playing Vera means I can wear oversized clothes, but the temptation is always there to eat a pie when you are on set. Believe it or not, 10 years ago I was running marathons. I ran 3 in total, but I noticed the wear and tear on my knees and I had to stop." The 5'2" actress, who insists her diminutive height means she looks wider than she actually is, also tries to keep fit by taking her beloved dog Jack for long walks. Brenda also revealed she rejected Roman Catholicism. "My personal motto has always been, is it right to do that? Just live by the right rules and don't be greedy," she said. "Does it come from my Roman Catholic background? Not really, because the more I think of Catholicism, I'm not fond of it. I think it's due in part to Islam and all the terrible things that have happened because of that, and it makes you question other faiths." Vera can be seen on ITV1 on Sunday. Whitney Port can still feel the rain on her skin. Even though it's been 8 years since the series finale of The Hills, Port, 33, still knows all the words to the reality show's theme song. On Friday, while taking a drive with her 11-month-old son, Sonny Sanford, The Hills alum shared a video on her Instagram story of herself singing along while Natasha Bedingfield's 2004 song and Written played in the background. After belting out the chorus behind the wheel, she addressed her son, who was not visible in the video. "Sonny, this is Mama's song," she cheerfully told her son. Related, Whitney Port opens up about cute moments with baby Sunny, including the time he peed on her. Before the pair set out for their trip, Port revealed on Instagram that she was taking her son on a shopping excursion at Saks Fifth Avenue. Taking Sunny to Saks in day 3 of #Whitney were. Wake up, Sunny. She wrote on Instagram alongside an image of her outfit of the day, a snakeskin print dress, which she paired with black shoes and a matching black belt. Earlier this year, Port opened up to people about how she and husband Tim Rosenman are adjusting to life as parents, including one of her biggest and wettest parenting fails. "I would say that last parenting fail I had was when I didn't get the diaper on fast enough and he peed in my face," said Port. Related gallery, The Hills Are Alive with babies. See which cast members are expanding their families. Port also shared that while she was playing peekaboo with her son, he made her laugh so hard I cried. He was so scared and had such an insane reaction, scared in a funny way. London-based motion graphic company Potion Pictures marked England's brilliant World Cup 2018 performance with a hilarious online video. The company edited footage from the RAF 100 flip past over London to show the plane's fly information over the London Shard spelling "It's coming home," sending England fans into a frenzy as they wait to see the Three Lions challenge Croatia for a spot in the final World Cup game. The Three Lions song has become an anthem to England supporters witnessing the team reach the semi-final stage for the first time since 1990. The phrase, "It's coming home," has become a slogan for excited England fans anticipating World Cup victory. England are one win from facing France in Sunday's World Cup final and face Croatia. Tonight marks their first semi-final in 28 years, when they lost on penalties to West Germany, and would be their first final since 1966. Speaking during his press conference on Tuesday ahead of the semi-final, manager Gareth Southgate admitted he could not listen to Three Lions after his penalty shootout miss in the Euro '96 semi-final, the year the anthem was first released. He said with a smile, "Football's Coming Home is a song I couldn't even listen to for 20 years, frankly, so for me, it has a slightly different feel. It's nice to hear people enjoying it again, anyway." Although Croatia is the most difficult opponent England will have faced in the tournament, Southgate has suggested he will stick to his game plan. Asked what he would be demanding from his players, the England coach told ITV, "To be able to keep doing what we have been doing, play with real defensive discipline, good organization, tactical awareness, and then with the ball play with the freedom and expression that we have and the same patterns and movements that we have shown." But the England boss is well aware of the threat that Croatia poses in the center of the field. He said, "They, of course, have a very strong midfield, so it's about denying them space and making sure awareness of distances and coverage of the pitch is correct and knowing the right moments to press. The higher the level of opponent, if you press in a disorganized fashion, then you will get picked through." The England wag took the couple's 2 children to Russia to watch the striker play for the team, but they were unimpressed with the food. In Rebecca's column for OK Magazine, she said, "The kids and I have missed the food at home. Other than one nice meal, the food in Russia was awful." She continued, "I must have gained about half a stone, because the best food was junk food." Rebecca, 36, also admitted to missing other home comforts such as a washing machine and the family's pets. She commented, It will also be nice to use my washing machine instead of hand washing in the hotel sink, and I can't wait to get back in my own bed. Most of all, I look forward to having my husband home with us for a little while and seeing him properly before he starts pre-season training. England missed out on winning the World Cup title this year when they were defeated by Croatia in the semi-final. The team also failed to win the third-place status, with Belgium beating them 2-0. Rebecca admitted the defeat had her and Jamie, 31, in tears. She told the publication, "Jamie was obviously gutted they lost the semi-final. We all cried. It was a strange mixture of tears of pride and also sadness that their journey was over." Rebecca and the pair's children were often seen supporting Jamie at his matches from the stands. The former "I'm a celebrity. Get me out of here" star was seen wearing personalized clothing emblazoned with their surname and Jamie's team number 11. Earlier this week, Rebecca arrived home to the UK and updated her 385,000 Instagram fans with her journey. Excited to be back to her home comforts, she wrote, "Never been so happy to see the UK," alongside a picture of her view from a private jet. The brunette later gave an insight into Jamie's welcome home party. She uploaded a snap of the guests at the gathering with the caption, "Welcome home," followed by multiple heart emojis. One user commented, "Well done, Jamie."